Very, very cool, Paulie Reindl. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, and I know a few of you guys are, you go to youtube.com, search Ben and Woods. Paulie made a really cool countdown video for our YouTube. For the radio folk out there, you're just going to get the same old normal Ben and Woods intro. But
you get to listen to the show open.
Yeah, you get to hear the show open. They don't on YouTube because of copyright infringement. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
We will sued like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, exactly. And then I got to go to court and sing Barry White, and the whole bit is just,
No, it's dun dun dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun.
dun. Good morning. Ben and Woods here. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning.
Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, is here as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm actually, right now, at this very moment, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm really good, actually.
Good.
I had an epiphany.
You did?
Yeah, I'll
just
share.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in the last 5 minutes, I had an epiphany that I'm going to share with everybody later this morning.
Good. All right. I look forward to that. What time are you going to share your epiphany? 6:35?
Perfect. Yeah.
Right, 6:35. Ben's epiphany. Write it down.
Yep.
Hard word to spell. Well, listen, it's good to be here on a Thursday this morning. I got a note here. Sam Levitt, our beloved Sammy Levitt, left this on my my desk here. Guys, a listener gave me this note to pass to you at the ballpark. That could be potentially dangerous if in the wrong hands. But
He
it
actually
says,
left it on my desk.
He did. Okay.
And I said, nope,
Did we
this
test
is
it for
Woodsy's department.
Yeah,
anthrax
it's got
or anything
anthrax
like
on
that?
it.
Yeah.
It says, Dear Ben and Woods, thank you for all the entertainment. Please say hi to my dad, Jack Moran. Please stay cool forever. Heart, Christina. Thank you, Christina. And hello, Jack Moran. It's good to be here this morning, despite the circumstances of, being fans of and covering what is essentially just a mediocre baseball team. I mean, and I think that's the epiphany that I've come to after watching them last night and watching them this season. They're just a mediocre team. And my patience is a little bit stretched thin when talking about them. So I think we'll push it back to about 6:35 when we normally do. But I sense a lot of frustration out there. Even though not on Twitter, I'm still on Instagram. I'm still getting direct messages about how frustrated people are, and I see it, I hear it. People call the station all day long, and everyone's got an idea on how to fix it. I mean, but I watched the team play last night, and I just went, yeah, this is frustrating. It's frustrating, and they're just mediocre. And I guess at some point you're just gonna have to realize we're just mediocre. We're just a mediocre baseball team, despite what all the pundits said.
Well, when I get to my epiphany, I'll tell you exactly what the problem is, and I'll tell you exactly how it's going to be fixed.
Good.
Or not.
Good.
At some point this season.
Well, good. I've got a couple special guests here this morning. You might be able to see them over my shoulder. My sons are here with me, which is the first time I brought my sons to work for the entire program.
It's great to see them. It feels like there's a shocking lack of supervision going on at the moment.
Come on in. Yeah, there's not a lot of. Come on in. Come on, monkeys. You're going to stand it. Oh, here comes Taylor.
All right. Hi, Taylor.
Say hi.
There he is.
There's
yeah,
Taylor.
we see him on the stream.
Better hurry, buddy.
Yeah, and
Right.
let's bring in the other
Come
one.
here. Come inside.
Bo, come here.
Quick, Bo.
Why?
He's
Because I
already a
said.
teenager. Come on, buddy.
Hi.
There he is.
All right,
There it
all
is.
right, you guys want to be on camera? There we go. Come here. So here's the guys. They're here. Hannah's off to New York today, so I got them here. And then as soon as we're done here, we're going to make the trek to Long Beach Aquarium, which is, I don't know if have you been to Long Beach Aquarium?
Not in a long time. Probably when they were that age, the kids.
It's incredible. I mean, it really is an incredible interactive experience. I highly recommend it for any parents out there. It's brilliant. So we're going to drive up to Long Beach. Then we're going down to Laguna after that. We're going to stay a couple nights in Laguna, do a little boys' vacation. Nice, cool 65-degree beach walks. The weather's not supposed to be fantastic this weekend, I think either here or there, but it'll be nice. Get out of town for a couple days and do what's what. But yeah, I've got them here for the duration of the show. They will not be in the studio the whole time for sure, but but yeah, these are my guys, and they're going to be really good boys today, right? Yeah, can you be a good boy?
I'm working.
You're working?
Yeah.
Hey, did you tell everybody where all of our pets went? Where'd they go? Where? In Kevin. Where'd they go?
No.
You don't know?
No.
No, he did last night. He's like, all of our pets are in Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin.
They're in Kevin, right? Yeah. Except for our cats.
Yeah,
Yes,
still,
very much.
cats
Still
are
got
still
some
with
cats
us. But
and fish around. But yeah, my little guys are in today. And it's good to have them here at work. It's an I've been to work with my dad a couple times, and commercial real estate office is not as fun as a radio station, certainly. But how are you guys doing? Everybody good?
yeah, doing all right. Obviously frustrated by the game last night, but again, we're got a little short week. You're going into a 4-day weekend, so soak up all the Ben and Woods and Paul that you can today.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be back until Tuesday morning after the holiday.
Yep. Get it in you now. And then we'll have. So then when we get back, Paulie will be on vacation. So Paulie will be in Vegas. We've got Italian Paul, Frank Marchese over there.
Hey.
He's oh, there he is.
It's a full studio this morning.
We really are a packed house. So then Frankie will be doing the Italian Paul thing for a couple of days. Then Paulie will be back next Thursday. So going to be a little weird, but everyone, look, if there's one person in this studio that needs a break, it's Paul Reindl. There's no question about it. Paulie deserves a vacation. Ben will take a day. I'll take a day. Paulie's like the cornerstone. He's here.
The problem with Paul's vacation, and he's showing this right now, is that for him to leave this studio requires him to do so much preparatory work.
Yeah.
It's almost not worth it.
You're like cramming in an extra week of work just so you can take a couple of days off.
It's fine. I'll be fine.
Including training, Italian Paul on our YouTube stream and how that's working. I've seen them working on that the last 20 minutes. Like, okay, here's what you do. You push this, then that, and it's not easy, Paul, is it? To
it's just
train someone to just fill in for you.
It's not that it's hard. It's just that it's a lot, and there's a lot going on, and it's live radio. It's not a podcast. You can go back and re-record something. Like if you screw up, it's live. So
it is what it is. It's the beauty of live radio, though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It gives you the thrill, high.
We've always embraced the suck on this program, and we're going to continue to do so. In case it sucks.
But I don't
think it will, because
and a lot of jobs,
that was a backhanded compliment.
And a lot of jobs, you make a mistake. It obviously is awful, but you throw it in the trash can and you just start over.
Yeah.
And all right, I'll just dig in. I'll do this again. I'll stay an extra hour or two, and I will get this done the right way.
Figure it out.
We can't do that.
No.
If we have a bad 2 hours. It's not like, all right, well, we'll do it again at 10 o'clock from 10 to noon and get it right. No, we get one chance to get it right, and then it's done. It's over.
Right.
It's this is
you agree?
Wild. Yeah, we got babbling. We've got Paul. We've got Italian Paul.
Babbling. Say, shut it, Ben.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, no bad language in here.
Yeah, you can't curse.
No.
She said it.
Can you do a Bull Durham line for everyone?
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead, Charlie.
Charlie, here comes the deuce. When you speak at me, speak well.
Oh, my God.
Dude. Bull Durham, his favorite movie of all time. You could be one of those guys. Nuke could be one of those guys, but you don't. He won't say it.
Mhm.
All right, so let's get these clowns out of here. Let's get this show on the road. Talk a little bit about who's coming up. We got Craig Elson. So we moved some of our Friday things to Thursday since it's our Friday. And then we've got our pal Eno Saris on at 8:35. Eno, I read his article yesterday on The Athletic. He's still talking about sticky stuff with pitchers. I'm kind of over it, but it's still obviously a thing. Guys are getting suspended 10 games here and there. Wait till you guys hear, if you didn't read the article, because I've read every article on The Athletic. Wait till you hear one of the proposed solutions. It involves a $5,000 machine that you would have to put your hand, almost like one of those things at the airport. You know how they swab and hold it under something?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's staggering because these guys can't stop putting, tic tac and doo-doo on their fingers to try to get a little bit of extra spin rate to get guys out at the big league level. It is, Eno has done so many deep dives onto the sticky stuff. It is riveting.
And while I rarely take the side of the umpires, it's incredibly unfair to ask them to police.
That's what he says in there.
The pitchers and how sticky someone's hands are at any given moment.
Like the level of stickiness. You know what I'm saying? And so they're always going to try to find an edge. We know that, but it's a really, really, it's fascinating. It's also really, really kind of funny the lengths that they're going to try to figure this out, because these guys can't stop. They cannot stop. And I feel like even if Major League Baseball made a better baseball, even if they made a better, all right, guys, this is uniform and it's tacky enough for everyone. There's going to be 5, 10, 15% of the pitchers that go, all right, that's pretty good, but what if I can get a little bit extra on it? I mean, that's just the way that game has been for 130 years. So we'll talk to Eno at 8:35. Our pal Craig Elston. Haven't actually talked to Craig in a few weeks, so he's going to jump on at 7:35, and we'll get into the Padres and all that entails. I mean, shouldn't take long. I mean, it's we've been saying this. It's dire. I almost called you last night, Paulie, and said, hey, how much of a pain in the ass would it be to go back and find every time we've said runners in scoring position? Yes, buddy. What? You want to get out?
Yeah, that's a very heavy door. And if someone doesn't open it for them, there's no chance they're going to be able to get out of this studio.
The answer to your question, though, was an incredible pain in the ass.
All right, have fun, mate.
It would take me weeks.
Yeah, weeks. I mean, we've done the same show over and 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 over. So I'm now down to you, Ben, $30.
Yes, you are. Yeah, they did not get any hits with runners in scoring positions. So
costing you money, taking years off your life.
Yeah.
I losing hair.
I will tease, though, my epiphany
my hair's still perfect.
Is actually realizing it's not hitting with runners in scoring position that's the main problem on this team. It seems like it is, but that's just a symptom of what truly is plaguing the Padres here in 2023. And I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you. And it will seem completely obvious. You all know the answer. You know it in your hearts. And yet we discuss everything else but the actual problem on the San Diego Padres. We look at the coaching, we look at the manager, we look at runners in scoring position, we look at everything but the actual number one issue that has been the problem for the Padres. And I don't know why we don't talk about it more, but it is clearly what is wrong with this team. And I will share that with you coming up at the bottom of the hour with our Padres wrap-up. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Oh, by the way, speaking of children, since you've got your two here, congratulations to the guy who comes on before us. So DA has been out all week. Haven't said why. They've implied that he was on vacation.
You don't have to
somewhere.
Kiss his ass right now.
But no, I was driving in and they had him call in. He had a baby, his first this morning.
His first kid?
Yeah, they had their first kid.
Have fun.
And they're celebrating. So I wanted to just congratulate him since he does come on before us.
Congratulations, Damon Amendolara.
New father.
Strap in.
Yeah.
So fun prepping for a
Doing
sports radio show with diapers. Yeah, it's a blast. Super easy.
All right, we'll come back. Daily Diddy, Woods selection, wrapping up our vacation week as Paulie heads out on his. We head out on our long holiday weekend, and then we'll get into it this morning with Ben and Woods. Glad to have you with us on San Diego's #1 sports station. Let's get our first check of traffic right now with Kelly Danick here on 97.3 The Fan.
Man, that's a perfect song. Really sums up where we are as a baseball club. Destination unknown. No one really knows. They could be 10 games below 500 when this thing's all said and done. They could be hoisting a World Series trophy. We have seen it done before. And destination, though, right now at this point is really unknown. That's missing persons for our theme. It's still a destination. We just don't know where we're going.
Yep, true enough.
Yeah, we're going somewhere, but nobody knows where.
So Colonel Budget made an appearance last night. I can't do it with the baseball team anymore. Obviously, Padres have the third highest payroll in baseball. Budgetary concerns are no longer in my baseball wheelhouse. But, by personal budgetary concerns, I went to fill up my tank at Costco last night while I was at work on my break.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, I was curious to ask you guys, how far out of your way, if at all, will you go to save money on filling up on gas?
0.0 miles.
You will just, whatever gas station is closest as the light comes on and you need gas, you will just get it there. Whether it's $5.79 a gallon or $4.80 a gallon, you'll just pull in and pay what you pay.
Now, one thing about me, though, I'm a 100% brand loyalist, right? So there's a Valero by my house where my guys are inside, and I have to go left around the In-N-Out line to get in. It is when I could pop into the one right on the right. It's right on the drive. It's easy, but I love that place. Those are my guys in there. We shoot the breeze. So I go way out of my way, but it's not for price. I'm loyal.
That is a great price station. So you're doing well there.
You know which one I'm talking about.
I do.
Right
I know
by
exactly. And I gotta go to that one often because of the price.
And you know what a beating it is to get in and out of there. It's a nightmare. Yeah.
I try to time it so when I'm coming back on the freeway, it's on the right side.
The right side.
So I don't have to go out of my way. But I went out of my way about 3 miles yesterday. There's a gas station about 2 minutes from the television station, but the price was about 50 cents more per gallon. So I said, I've got the time. I've got a half an hour right now. Why don't I just drive 3 miles, go to Costco? It'll be about 50 cents a gallon less. My tank filled is about 16 gallons for a full tank.
So you'll save about
$8 by going 3 miles out of my way.
That's like a pack of cigarettes that you love so much.
Yeah, well, whatever it is. I felt
half
like
a sandwich.
You know what? I felt solid about that. Yeah, I had to wait a minute or two while people filled up. It was busy. There's definitely people out there like me. It's the only gas station where you'll usually wait in a line is the Costco gas station when you get there, that you can't just pull into one of the pumps. You have to actually wait in line for a couple people in front of you to fill up, and then you get your opportunity.
My ass.
Well, at the time I went, it was there were 2, and then there was 1. I was the next one.
That's not bad.
It wasn't hugely, crowded. But it was still busy at 7:35 at night.
We have a Vaughn's gas right by my house.
That's good.
Which is usually pretty cheap, especially if you have enough money in groceries spent. Yeah. You get like 10 cents off a gallon every $100. But that line is always
murder.
It's like Costco.
That's a long one too. Yeah.
Paulie, you don't remember. This didn't happen when you were a baby, but when Ben and I were kids, did it happen here, the gas shortage, like it did?
I don't remember.
So I can,
because that was late 70s. We were really young.
I vividly remember being about Bo's age, 4 or 5 years old, and sitting at the top in the back of my mom's
you could only
Cutlass.
Fill up on certain days of the week or something like that.
And the lines were like an hour long to get gas. It was excruciating. So I think maybe there's a little bit, I get triggered from that. And I'm also just incredibly lazy. And I'm like, I'm not going out of my way to do that. But good for you that you did.
I don't know. Is it good or is it not?
I don't know.
I know my time is more valuable than that, considering it took me, 25, 30 minutes to save $8. That, in that sense, you're saying your time is worth $16 an hour. If you
feel like it's worth a little more.
My time is more valuable than $16 an hour, yet I felt very satisfied by saving that $8 by going to Costco as opposed to the closest gas station that I could have gone to.
It's all about how you feel. It's all about how you feel. If you feel like it was worth, what's the old adage? If you feel like you got a good deal, you probably did, right? So you got a good deal.
It's all about how you feel.
It's all about how you feel.
I mean, ultimately, those $8 are not going to impact my lifestyle one way or another.
It's not going to make you or break you.
Yeah. I'm not going to retire 2 years earlier because I saved $8 on gas.
Yeah, but they do say, though, that's how the rich stay rich. by pinching some pennies.
Well, $1 is $1.
$1 is
$100 is $100.
Exactly
Whatever,
right.
Wherever you spend it, wherever you save it, if it's on a mortgage payment, if it's on going out to eat, it's $100, $1, it's $1.
I very much used to be that guy. You come up to an intersection, you're like, all right, there's a Shell. It's $4.29 a gallon. But across the street or down the block, there's an Arco, and it's $4.19.
Yeah, save
per
10
gallon.
cents
I'm
a
gonna save
gallon.
10 cents. And
But
you're
they
like,
might charge you an extra fee to use your card.
They
at
might.
that Arco.
But then, what are you gonna get? You're getting 10 gallons of gas. You saved $1.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Like, just do what's convenient.
Oh my God! Hang on.
Oh boy.
Kids up, they're staring at
Bo's
the window
been banging
again.
on the windows for
Yeah,
5 minutes now.
We've got a problem. Is there a problem going on out there? What's going on? All right.
Just go ahead.
We knew this was going to happen, Paul. I mean,
What did you expect?
I'd rather have Woods here than not have him here. But when he said, I'm going to have to bring in the boys on Thursday morning because
we knew it was going to be a little
going
chaotic.
off to New York, the chaos was inevitable, obviously. So he's going to probably have to pop
cups,
in and
I
out.
See coloring books.
I mean, we're only 28 minutes into the 4-hour show, and already they're getting bored. I mean, there's no one out there to
Bo's going
entertain
to cause
them.
disturbances to the show. I'm at least going to need his theory on how to solve the runners with scoring position problems.
You just hit, right? Padres need to hit, right? You can't see the score?
Don't
Okay.
worry, it's last night's game. I promise
We
you they're going
lost,
to lose
Bo.
5-3.
Yeah, we lost.
I guarantee you that is what is going to happen at the end of this game.
This is a nightmare. I'm so sorry.
It's not a nightmare.
Had a doo-doo accident already. Chocolate milk spilled. This is...
It's not us you got to worry about. It's
No.
JR.
Yeah,
and
the engineers that
They're gonna
care
kick
about the
your
carpet and things
ass.
here. They're
Xanax.
probably going to send an email. No more kids allowed in the building during work hours anymore. Unsupervised. Well, actually, that's a policy at almost every workplace. No unsupervised
This
children.
is one of the few where it's like,
in
yeah,
the
go ahead,
office.
bring them in.
Well, there's dogs running around up here. I've seen all kinds of things. I really thought, we'd be able to grind through this, but apparently we are not going to be able to.
You
right
are
now.
really regretting this, aren't you?
I am in the chamber.
Well, we were
right
saying
now.
while you were out there, we're like, hey, we knew this was going to happen as soon as you told us. We're
I
like, it's
actually
gonna be
thought
looking-
it was going to be.
But-
I thought maybe in the 9 o'clock hour it'd get a little rough.
Well, that's
I didn't
when we
know
get
the
a little-
first 30 minutes.
We get a little restless.
Which fish are you most looking forward to seeing at the aquarium later today?
the stingrays, right?
Stingrays? Is that
That's
is that the highlight of the show?
You get to pet the stingrays.
Are there baby sharks? Do you get to see a baby
Yeah.
shark?
There's sharks there. Look at this.
Clownfish like Nemo?
Speaking of clowns. Nemo, very good. All right, let's go to break. And
yeah,
I'm gonna go
let's-
change some
let's say
diapers.
Oh,
and-
I can smell that.
yeah, it's
I
cool.
will
It's
I
the
will
best.
share my epiphany
All right.
as we get to our Padres wrap up of yesterday's loss. And you're all just going to nod your head and go, "Well, of course you're right, Ben. Of course that is what is wrong with the San Diego Padres. It's so obvious." We will get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. a diaper. It's been a while, but he's definitely in the torture chamber right now.
Welcome to the torture chamber.
Yeah, he really is.
I don't miss that. I don't miss that part of having children of a certain age.
How you doing over there,
Oh,
bud?
he is already exhausted at 6:38 in the morning. Welcome back. It's Ben and Woods.
2 bombs, one
Two.
by each.
Wow.
Fantastic. So
Oh,
fun.
man.
This is the best.
Just like their dad when he gets here too.
Yeah, that's a good point. But they're good now, right?
Something about this, but yeah, they'll be fine for the rest of the morning. You won't have to worry about them.
Totally.
They're good to go. All guests on Ben.
to the torture chamber.
All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the Premier
firmly in it,
Chevrolet of
dude.
Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. All right, I will tease my epiphany one last time. We'll check traffic. We'll come back with our Padres wrap-up and highlights, and then I will shed light. I will make everything clear for Padres fans, and you will nod in agreement and go, of course, that is the problem with this baseball team. Next on 97.3 The Fan.
From the Premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
Traffic is sponsored by Insperity. Getting reports of a collision in the East County now, westbound side of the 8, right before 2nd Street. Couple vehicles involved, no details as to whether that is blocking any lanes. Providing scalable HR services, access to better benefits, payroll, and HR technology for over 35 years. Insperity's mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Visit insperity.com. I'm Kelly Tannick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You can visit Pity City, but you can't live there.
Did you miss any of the Padres game yesterday?
Oh, it's been a great day today. Can't wait for more.
Oh, God, here we go. Jesus Christ.
Cancel the parade. That's why you play the games.
It's the Padres wrap-up with Ben and Woods.
Slam Diego? More like fail Diego.
Presented by Hamul Casino. With thrilling slots and tables and all the best rewards, Hamul Casino has all the fun you're looking for. Hamul Casino, fun above all else. On 97.3 The Fan.
I just felt the way that the roster is built, they would have to outscore their opponents to win.
So runners on the corners, nobody out, and a run already in. Alex Call goes after the first pitch. He's going to find the left center field gap. That's going to bounce beyond Soto and roll all the way to the base of the fence. Smith has scored. Ruiz is on his way. Bogart's relay to the plate, not in time. A 2-run double for Alex Call as Ruiz scores all the way from first base, and 3-0 Washington in the second. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Odor hits it in the air, deep down the right field line. Thomas to the corner, looking up, gonna go! A 2-run homer for Rougned Odor. He stays high, and the Padres are on the board. It's 4-2 here in the fourth. Top of the order for the Nats. They lead 4-2. Swings at the first pitch, hits it in the air down the left field line, hooking and fair up against the wall. That'll get a run home. Soto's got to play the hop, sends it into second base, not in time. Lane Thomas, an RBI double. He's now got a 9-game hitting streak, and the Nationals get one of those runs back. It's 5-2. Here's the 0-2. Kim swings, hits it in the air to deep right center field. Call is back. He looks up, gonna go. A home run for Ha-Seong Kim. 5th of the year for Kim, and the 2nd of the night for the Padres. 5-3 Nationals in the 5th. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Trent takes on the outside corner. Strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. A 1-2-3 top of the 9th inning turned in by Kyle Finnegan, and the Nationals even the series with a 5-3 win here this afternoon.
Yeah, look, he didn't pitch as bad as maybe his line looks. We didn't help him out too much defensively tonight, which is, usually we're pretty solid defensively. Like you said, some soft contact. Call had a couple of hits off him. Other than that, I gave us 6 innings. I thought he pitched fairly well. When you get 4 hits, it's tough to win a game.
Very frustrated manager Bob Melvin after the game last night as the Padres see their 2-game winning streak come to an end in a 5-3 loss to the Washington Nationals. Series now even at a game apiece. They will wrap it up this afternoon. 1:05 start San Diego time, while the Padres will then head to New York to face the Yankees for 3 this weekend. And again, the Padres, they only had 1 chance with a runner in scoring position yesterday. So it wasn't the lack of hits with runners in scoring position. It was simply the lack of hits yesterday that plagued the Padres. But ultimately, I looked back, Woods, and it finally dawned on me. We've been focusing on the wrong things. Every team clearly, you need your superstars to perform well for the most part.
1 through 5, 0 for 17 last night.
They were. But again, there's also teams that, they'll miss a player, they'll miss a key player, and you know what? They'll pick up the slack for a while.
100%.
It happens all the time in professional sports where a key guy goes out, other guys come together, they pick up the slack, and it's fine. And the bottom of the order actually produced again yesterday. You get a home run from Rougned Odor and Ha-Seong Kim. You're the San Diego Padres. You should be winning 95% of those games.
Unquestionably.
When you're getting that kind of production from the bottom of the lineup. But when the top does nothing, that's a really big problem. So
it's terrible, man.
So I went back this morning through the last 10 years, essentially, and I realized something. It's not just the San Diego Padres, but even going back to his time with the Baltimore Orioles, every team that Manny Machado has been on, that team has won and lost, has lived and died with how Manny has played. When Manny has played well, the Baltimore Orioles, starting basically when he was a key player in 2014, when he was doing well, the Baltimore Orioles did well. When he had an off season, when he had off months, the Orioles were terrible. And it is carried on through his time with the Padres. You go back to 2019 when Manny Machado had a very mediocre debut with the team. Padres had a very mediocre to poor season in 2019. 2020, the short season, Manny was great. Fantastic MVP candidate. Padres were great throughout that short 2020 season. 2021 got off to a very good start. Padres were 17 games above 500 in August. Manny fell off a cliff that month, had a 635 OPS. The Padres fell off a cliff in August, and they had the once-in-a-century collapse at the end of the season, ended up costing Jace Tingler his job. Last season, Manny MVP season again was fantastic. Padres go to the playoffs, go to the NLCS. What have you got from Manny Machado this season? Nothing. He when he was even healthy, or when he was in the lineup, he wasn't producing. Now he's out, and the Padres are struggling. Teams that Manny Machado is on, for good or bad, they go as Manny Machado goes. And I think I came to the epiphany today that until Manny gets back and starts playing like Manny, it may be hard for the Padres to get where they want to go. I know they have other superstars that you would think, well, they have Tatis now. They have Bogarts. They have Juan Soto. Why would it matter so much? Can't those guys simply pick up the slack production-wise? They certainly can. They have the talent to put up big numbers and production. But for whatever reason, Manny Machado, whether it's the kind of leader he is or the fact that his performance just seems to seep through an entire roster. It's not just this year. It's every year of his career that Manny lifts
8 years, 9 years,
and drags down a team based on how he is performing at the time. It has been remarkably a 1-to-1 ratio. When you look,
that's wild.
Manny plays well, team plays well. Manny plays poorly, team plays poorly. And I get it. A lot of superstars are like that on teams. I mean, I'm sure when Mike Trout plays well, the Angels do better. And when he's not doing well, they do as poorly. I've never seen a correlation as direct, though, throughout his entire career, that it is essential for teams that Manny is on for Manny to be Manny if they're going to do well. And if he doesn't, it's almost as though everyone else falls apart at the same time.
It just, I mean, it's certainly an interesting, I guess theory is probably not the right word for it. It's an interesting look inside the numbers and the career that has been for Manny. But our whole bit was, well, last year it was tread water, win as many games as you can. Tatis is going to be coming back. Well, when they got the news he wasn't coming back, you saw it unify that team almost. They did, to a man.
Correct.
And you had guys talking, some of them out of school in the clubhouse, some of them out of school about Fernando Tatis letting the team down, but they rallied together.
And who did it, though, with a career best
Manny.
6.8 or second best in his career WAR last year? Manny Machado.
No doubt.
Did it.
Manny was like, all right, well, I'll do it on one leg if I have to. It's a good point that you make. It absolutely is. And to watch him scuffle so badly at the beginning of the season, you do feel, had he gotten off to a better start, A rising boat, or was it rising tide lifts all boats? He is the rising tide of the San Diego Padres, like it or not. That is, there's no denying the results and the numbers. So, but our whole thing this year was, all right, well, we got 20 games without Tatis. He's going to be the tide that lifts the boats. Hasn't been. He's been fine, and you always have the threat of him doing something.
He's a great player. Glad to have him, as is Soto.
Yep.
I don't feel like those guys lift their team the way Manny seems to lift the team.
Yeah.
When he is performing, especially offensively at the plate. And I think when you look at this slow, terrible start for the Padres this year, you look at the performance and then the injury to Manny Machado. And it sounds so obvious. Like I said, it sounds so obvious. Of course, Manny Machado hasn't done well. That's the reason why the Padres have not played well.
Is it fair, though, and this is just for argument's sake, is it fair to put it all on him? And I know that the numbers bear it out in his career, but
it's,
again, he's not the only.
I think it's a compliment, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
To put it on him. I'm not blaming Manny Machado. Every player deserves, they're going to get hurt. It's not his fault that he took a ball to the hand and broke his hand and had to be out. Now, playing not as well at the beginning of the season, we don't know what he was dealing with health-wise, but every player goes into slumps. It should be on those other guys to pick up the slack. It would be great if other guys could pick up the slack for Manny. I don't think he's telling people like, well, I'm not playing well, so you guys can't play. You can't play well at the same time. I'm just saying that you look at his career, and it is amazingly consistent that teams cannot overcome Manny Machado struggling when he is on the roster. But when he is playing well, everyone plays well, and he lifts the entire team at the same time.
Yeah, and that's
in a way that Fernando Tatis Jr. just simply doesn't, and Juan Soto simply doesn't do it the way that Manny Machado does it.
They don't.
And I don't know why that is. Now, that's a whole nother question as to why is it Manny? Why couldn't it be Soto? Why couldn't it be Tatis?
Why couldn't it be Bogarts?
Force of personality? Well, I don't know why that is necessarily the case, but it has been the case, and it's not just now, and it's his entire career has been that case. Dodger playoff run that fell apart in 2018. Manny not performing that well he was only on that team for a couple months.
Yeah.
And it's as Manny goes, so goes his team. And right now, obviously, Manny's not going. Now, that should give you at least a little bit of hope if you're a Padres fan, that if Manny comes back and starts playing like Manny, my guess would be, based on the career correlation that I just went through, that the rest of the Padres will start playing much better at the same time if Manny comes back and starts playing like Manny. And for the better part of his career, he's been an MVP type player, but occasionally he has bad spells, bad half seasons, and it absolutely tanks his teams.
Got a banger in the chat here from Charles. Says, get rid of that ego freak Tatis. Get some scrappy on-base hitters in a trade, and the rest of the line will be better. Not a Tatis fan. You all put this guy on Mount Rushmore. Selfish player. The selfish player that just moved to right field, that selfish player, he's not scrappy. I'd say he's a pretty scrappy dude. I would. That's absurd. Charles, that's stupid. That's a stupid thing to say. I'm sorry. That's stupid. He's a generational type player. Look, nobody on this team is performing, so everybody wants to point fingers. But that's so stupid. I can't even.
That's not the guy I'm pointing my finger at.
100%. I can't. Has he made mistakes in his career? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But judge him on his behavior and his actions now. You can't judge him on. Thank God we're not all judged on the mistakes we made in the past. All you can do, he's done everything right since he's come back. Everything. He's other than hitting 3 home runs a game, he's done everything right. I know he booted one last night, but he's played spectacular right field. Kid's been a shortstop since he's 4 years old, and now he's in right field. You can't call that kid selfish. Has he made selfish decisions? Yeah, absolutely.
Even on games where he's going over.
Stupid, man. I can't even.
A lot of times, he's hit the ball hard and just right at some people. He's very close to breaking out in a big way.
I need a cocktail. Do I have any booze anywhere? It's a radio station. There's got to be a cocktail somewhere.
Bo keeps coming up to the window.
I know. I'm
staring at you.
Back out he goes again. Paulie, what do you think? Is it as simple as The Padres need Manny Machado to come back and be Manny Machado, and that will fix pretty much everything.
I certainly think it'll help. I don't know that it fixes everything, but of course. I mean, team's best player or team's second best player starts playing well, team starts winning. Breaking news, right?
I mean, considering the fact that all of these losses are about the same, they're all a run or two.
If
You're
Manny's playing hot, you got to assume he's going to get some knocks and runners and
he starts playing well. Just that alone is going to lift the Padres to a few more wins. But he is going to have that trickle down effect that other players don't seem to have. But they just need Manny.
It's weird because it sounds like you're blaming him, but I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you are. But
I think it's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
We've
But
done this damn show 20 times already in the first 6 weeks of the season or whatever. We're at the point where we're just reaching for any logical reason. Anything.
The thing is and I know, and I'm right there with you. I'm so tired of the excuses. I'm so tired of looking for a reason. There's one reason. You're mediocre right now. That's it. You're not good. You're not good. You probably bought into the hype a little bit, which I can absolutely understand.
I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to excuse everybody else.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
They really should be able to pick it up with the roster they have put together. The reason why we've been, speculating and also everything else, we look at the team and go, you should be able to withstand the loss of Manny Machado for a couple of weeks with no problem, given the talent that you have. So that's why we keep looking at the coaching, the hitting coaches, the runners with scoring position. We look at everything else and we ignore the obvious solution, and that is the fact that Manny is what drives his teams, and he's not driving the team right now because he's not hurt. He's not healthy. He's not on the field, and they need him back. I would love to see someone pick up and be that Manny for the Padres while he is gone, but no one seems to be doing that at the moment. So they need Manny to do it.
Those guys all have it in them, and especially Xander. Xander has it. He was able to do it in Boston. I know there were a lot of complimentary pieces around him, but he was a leader on that team, and he didn't just lead by rah beat his chest. His numbers led as well, and I'm not putting this on him either. But we have the personnel to get this job done. We have it. We have some of the best personnel in baseball. From the top down, manager and on. I don't know enough about the hitting coaches and their philosophies. We have the personnel. They need to find out who they are as a team and start. Losing to the Nationals is it's almost unacceptable.
There can only be one top dog in a clubhouse, though.
Oh, I get it.
And Manny's the Padres' top dog. Xander may have been in Boston, but he's not here. It's Manny.
Is that the problem?
It's Manny is the top dog. And it's hard when your top dog is struggling. We'll come back. Shout out to her family. You know who it is. Next on Ben and Woods.
Man, this got me yesterday. I was
God, man.
I was a little. I didn't realize she was 83 years old. The great Tina Turner passed on yesterday, and I was like, "Ooh, what
one of my
biggest
favorite
badass
songs
ever."
She is so damn talented.
She wanted to be
man.
called the Queen of Rock and Roll, and I think she delivered. And 83 years old, passed away from a long illness. Didn't really know much about it, what she was suffering from. But what a life that she lived, man.
We don't have actual royalty in this country, but we have musical royalty.
No doubt.
So
she's in it.
In that spirit, Paulie, if you would, please.
This is BBC News. We're interrupting our schedules for the following announcement. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty.
That was it. That was it, just like that.
And we lost Her Majesty yesterday. Tina Turner. Shout out to her family.
Shout out to her family. All right.
Electric performer. Electric.
Yeah, I remember being a kid. My dad obviously huge into that kind of music, and I remember being like 80s Tina Turner. I was a kid in the 80s. I was like, I like Van Halen. I don't like Tina Turner, but it was always on in my house, and you kind of grew up with it. And then once you realize what she'd been through and just how talented she was, and her and Ike together, I know it was a very, very tumultuous, awful relationship. They made some magic together musically, and it was mostly her. I mean, it was mostly her, and he saw her and said, that I need to have you in my band. And they went from Ike Turner's Review playing normal kind of places to opening for the Rolling Stones in 1969, blew Mick Jagger's mind. Of course, they ended up collaborating, and she collaborated with everybody, and she's just an absolute badass.
I was reading, a few months ago, she said that she was in great danger with kidney disease.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Had no idea. No idea. All right. Well, rest in peace to the great queen, Tina Turner. Benjamin?
Going to play a little real or fake here in a couple of minutes. If you want to call in, get to be our contestant today, chance to qualify for a trip to Las Vegas. Dial up now, 833-288-0973. Bo and Taylor standing by to take your phone calls at our screener station.
Can you imagine? I wish I could put them to work
out there. I don't know how well
all
it's
over
going
the
to go.
phones or something. Pirates booty everywhere.
But call in 833-288-0973. If I am right, and the Padres are simply needing Manny back to be the Padres again, then I guess we're hoping he gets back sooner rather than later. He was out taking infield yesterday. He has the glove on, taking ground balls. So obviously there's some sort of improvement in the hand. According to kind of the talk around the team, doesn't look like he's going to be ready to come off the injured list on Friday when his 10 days are up and he is first eligible. I didn't get the sense exactly how much longer after that, though, Manny would need before he's able to return to the Padres lineup. And obviously we have no idea whether Manny's going to just instantly be Manny when he comes back. He was struggling before his hand was broken as well. So, I don't know how patient we're going to have to be. But Padres need to win some games, obviously, without Manny Machado. They can't simply continue to lose. They're kind of on the knife's edge of this season at the moment, Woods. If they lose today and then go out in the last 6 games of this road trip and drop 4 or 5 more.
Oh my God.
And, they're 8, 9, 10 games under 500. There's a point where you've dug yourself such a big hole that you can play well and not necessarily come back. There's still time, obviously, at this point where if you play decent baseball, nothing you can't still accomplish.
Yeah,
but,
win series.
Right? The more games you play and the more games you play poorly, obviously, the more you fall under 500, the less time you have to come back. It gets to the point where you may dig yourself such a deep hole that it doesn't matter what happens and who's playing well later in the season. So I feel like these next 7 games in this road trip, you don't have to go 7-0, but you better not go 1-6 over these next 7 games on the road. And given what we saw yesterday, I don't know how you couldn't be concerned that the Padres go back into a swoon again offensively. It's not like Trevor Williams is some, amazing Cy Young type pitcher. He's as interchangeable as any arm. And, I love guys who are local. Rancho Bernardo High, shouldn't be able to do what he did to the Padres yesterday in that game. Shouldn't be able to do that to that lineup and hold them to 4 hits in the entire game.
It's honestly, it's the most confused I think I've ever been in my life. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know what the issues are. But I know that the fan base, myself included, I'm getting tired of the. I've said it. I'm getting tired of the. Hey, we're only 1 hit away. You got to get that hit. You got to figure out a way to get that hit. And again, Ruggie Odor, nice home run, cost us a run the very next half inning by throwing the ball around the infield when just completely unnecessary. They're sloppy. They're sloppy and they're mediocre right now. That's what they are. They're a sloppy, mediocre baseball team. They're sloppy on the base paths. They take sloppy at bats. They're sloppy sometimes on defense. Do they make the spectacular
they're not.
play?
They had a bad game yesterday. They are the best defensive team in baseball by far.
They were very sloppy yesterday.
They were
sloppy. Cost you runs.
They
That's
were sloppy
It's the
yesterday.
definition of sloppy.
But every team, you can't judge a team by their worst game.
That's hardly their worst game
Defensively. That was their worst game defensively.
They're sloppy everywhere. I mean, yesterday they were sloppy
They're
everywhere.
not sloppy on defense. They are a crisp defensive team that has more outs above average than any other team in baseball and fewer errors than any other team in baseball.
Recency bias.
Don't
then.
let your frustration and recency bias let you say something as dumb as the chat.
No.
If you go, this is a sloppy defensive team, then you're just reacting emotionally. They're not. They're a very good defensive team. They're the best defensive team in baseball so far this season.
Okay, fine. All right, I'll take the sloppy defense yesterday notwithstanding. They're sloppy on the base paths. They have been all year. They're sloppy at the plate. Sloppy. They swing at 58-mile-an-hour curveballs that are 3 feet out of the zone. They have terrible at-bats. Consistently terrible at-bats.
And Bob Melvin agrees with you.
They're sloppy.
They're
mediocre.
He is fed
That's
up.
A mediocre
he is
baseball
fed
team.
up with the at-bats that this team has put together, especially late in games, especially when they're behind by a run or two, when he thinks, all right, this is the time where you really grind in. And it seems like when the Padres trail by whether it's 1, 2, whatever, the at-bats get worse, not better.
Yeah.
Listen to this 30 seconds from Bob's post game yesterday. He just sounds like a man defeated. It's not even like I need to hear more from Bob Melvin. Like he doesn't know what to say. I don't know what we want him to say, but AJ Cassavell asked him, like, why does this team seem to struggle so badly this year with mounting a comeback in any game?
I wish I had an answer for you. We had 10 walk-off wins at home last year. I think we only have 1 right now. It's been a problem for us. We should be able to push through and answer the challenge late in the game. We definitely have the guys to do it. We just have not to this point.
Do you assess that as a belief thing, as just kind of some rough luck in the wrong spots? Like,
it's just not the quality of bats that we should be having, especially late in games, especially with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, they've broken everybody, myself included at this point. Perfect example yesterday. All right, you're down 2 runs. You're down 2. So what do you need if you're the lead? You need a runner on. You need a bloop and a blast. You need to get on base. Carpenter comes up, veteran. I get it, leading the team in RBIs. Matt Carpenter's bat should be sitting on his shoulder until when he gets a strike. It's 101. What does he do? Swings at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball 2 feet out of the zone and tries to hold up. Why are you taking your 0-2 foul one off swing approach on the first pitch of an AB? At the very first pitch, 97 out of the zone, he's ass out. I'm like, oh my God. Those are the kind of things when I'm talking about sloppy baseball, that's what it is. It's, bro, I'm going to stand here until your wild ass throws me a strike. Okay, cool. Crony had 2-0. I mean, the guy throws hard. He throws hard. 2-0, 97-mile-an-hour fastball right down the D. Whoop. And the next pitch, 99-mile-an-hour, inner half. He rolls it over. On 2-0, what are you looking for? That pitch, you're geared up to rip a fastball into the stands.
It's a great point.
It's
this is
sloppy.
This is what Bob Melvin is talking about when he's saying non-competitive at bats. It's not the same issue every time. Sometimes it's guys who are taking too long, like Jay Cronenworth on pitches that you should be looking for to drive. Other times it's like Matt Carpenter, where you're swinging at pitches that you should be just spitting on.
Just wait.
Yeah, when someone says, "Oh, the Padres need to be more aggressive at the plate," not always.
Not then.
Sometimes you need to be more patient. Well, the Padres need to be more patient. No. Sometimes you need to be more aggressive. You have to pick the spots at the right time.
Yeah,
and the Padres aren't picking the right spots of when they need to, have certain actions at home plate.
I feel like last year with the, worst personnel on paper, right? Worst personnel. I feel like, man, we're never out of this game. This team they have a lot of character. They have a lot of fight in them. We're down 2 now, or we lose a lead. I'm amazed that Darvish
had 10 walk-offs. There was electricity. You felt a comeback was inevitable for the Padres last year. And it's the same team, except upgraded.
Right. It's
the same coaches, essentially.
That's the worst part.
Why wouldn't this team be great when in the late innings?
I was talking to Italian Paul at the break, and Italian Paul questioned the roster construction, and I said, man, you don't. How do you upgrade your car? And your car it's slower. It doesn't run as well. But I put
we
all
added
this money.
horsepower.
I got better tires. I put a better engine in it, and it's a crappier car. I don't understand. It doesn't add up. There's no logic to why this is happening. So it gets the brain.
Same driver.
They
haven't changed anything there.
I'm driving.
Well, the parts that you didn't upgrade are all busted.
They're falling apart. So yeah, man. And I think that was the point Italian Paul was trying to make. Like, Xander Bogaerts was a luxury for this team. And I said, yeah, but adding a luxury to your team shouldn't decimate your team, right? Like you add a nice room onto your house.
Like
your property value shouldn't go down.
Is the argument that money that Xander got could have gone to a catcher, a center fielder, whatever?
Yeah. I mean, hindsight being 20/20, certainly. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not like AJ wasn't trying to get those pieces either.
I mean, I know he wanted Sean Murphy. I know he did. I know he's always in on anybody that's good.
Big first baseman he was trying to get.
Abreu, who's been terrible for the Astros.
But we all would have loved if they would have made that signing.
100%. We all would have beat our chest and jumped up and down. We got Jose Abreu. He's been terrible. He's been a terrible signing for the Astros. Horrible. But again, I hate to sit here and say, well, you just never know, but you truly never know, like how a guy's going to respond. History tells you if they come here, they're going to be terrible. That's what history tells you, because that's what's pretty much happened with almost all of them. It's how it feels. So starting with Frazier and on down the list, but it doesn't make sense. You've upgraded and you're worse, and you don't see the spark of promise, the hope. No. Like, I no longer feel they're going to figure it out, really. I no longer feel like when I watch them play every single night, I don't think they're going to come back against a Nationals bullpen, which is a bad feeling to be in for a fan.
We will get back to this, of course. Real or Fake, though, brought to you by Home Turf. Save time and water with pet-friendly, always green grass. And get a free consultation by calling the team at Home Turf at 888-4SD-TURF or go to sdhometurf.com. Paulie, if you would.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
Playing to qualify for a 2-night stay at the Westgate Las Vegas and tickets to Little River Band on August 5th at the International Theater at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort. Last chance this month, I think, to qualify. And Guy is going to get that opportunity. Good morning, Guy.
Good morning, Ben and Woods.
All right, it is a game of Real or Fake for you. You need 4 correct out of the 7 to qualify. Here's your category. Earlier this week, we were talking Hot Pockets and crisping sleeves, which inspired today's category of Real or Fake.
How did you gain all the weight?
Guy, I will give you a delicious sounding filling. You tell me if it's a real variety of Hot Pocket or a fake I have made up for our game. Are you ready to play, guys?
This might be the game where if you win, you really lose.
Yeah, if you win, you
lose. You know too much about Hot Pockets. All right. Variety number 1, shepherd's pie Hot Pocket. Real or fake, Guy?
That sounds edible. Real.
Does sound edible, doesn't it? But I have fooled you on that one. It is fake. 0 for 1. Round number 2. Chicken bacon ranch Hot Pocket. Guy, real or fake?
What do you think, Woods? That sounds real, doesn't it?
It is not my favorite combo, but I can see that thing selling like hotcakes. I'll say real.
Guy?
Yeah, I go real. That sounds like the Costco food court.
Yeah.
Real it is.
Oh,
All right. We
believe
got 1 for 2. We go to round number 3. Steak nacho, Hot Pockets. Real or fake, Guy?
That sounds like something that'd give you some massive diarrhea. Let's go fake.
No, that one's
I'd
real.
say real, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, we are we're 1 for 3. That's all right. You're not done yet. You can still come back. Round number 4.
Look, it's Bowen Taylor making an appearance.
Bruschetta chicken panini. Bruschetta chicken panini. Real or fake, Hot Pocket, Guy?
I need you, Woods.
It sounds too fancy to be a hot pocket, but I think Ben was counting on us thinking that. I'm going to say
Let's
it's
just
real.
go next level.
I'm going to say it's real.
Guy, what do you think?
Let's go real.
You're right.
Yeah.
I thought I might fool you
Yeah.
by making it sound like a
very
fake
fancy.
one. All right, that's 2 out of 4. Let's go to round number 5. Green chili. Real or fake, Hot Pocket? Green chili.
I don't think they have any standalone health food like chili, so let's go fake.
That is fake. Very good. All right, you're within 1 of the victory. Round 6, real or fake, Hot Pocket variety. Mac and cheese, Hot Pocket. Real or fake? Carbs
sounds
on
gross enough to
carbs.
be real.
Yeah, I bet it's real.
I know. I would think so too. No, they haven't made that one yet. All right. Once again, it comes down to round 7 on real or fake.
Every week.
All right. For all the marbles here, Guy, Hot Pocket flavors, real or fake? Sloppy Joe.
Oh, sloppy Joe.
Real or fake, Hot Pocket flavor?
I can't have. Right?
I don't know. That's got to be real.
Polly?
I'm going real.
You going real?
He's going with it.
Yes! It is! Congratulations, Guy. You have qualified for the grand prize drawing for Las Vegas. Hang on the line, Polly, will get your info. 4 correct out of 7 on Hot Pocket flavors. And yes, none of them get crispy in the microwave.
No, not one of them.
In the crisping sleeve. Does not work. Fail. Hashtag fail. Don't do this. Don't put them in the crisping
Well, I
sleeve.
mean, you have to. It's kind of the instructions.
I know
but
it
doesn't
is.
work. Put it in the oven, maybe, or air fryer.
Air fryer.
That's what you say.
Air fryer is
Air
what
fryer.
you do. All right, don't do this is coming up next.
Oh, mama. We've got a flub. Adam.
Holy crap.
Adam sent over. I know that he wanted us to play it, but we're going to play it anyway.
What's the rule?
Paul had to do. If you send it, it's going on air.
Yeah.
Paulie had to do let's just some manipulation on this one. This was a banger. There's no question.
It's coming up next. Back after a check traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Don't do this.
I got a little surprise for you, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do this.
Listen, if I've said something bad, I mean, tell me I'm a bad boy. Just tell me I'm a bad boy.
Why? Just why?
I get the argument. You don't have to explain it to me. I'm not a moron.
Let me tell you why I am a dumbass.
It's time for Don't Do This.
Don't do this.
On 97.3 The Fan.
Don't forget, live coverage of every Padres game on 97.3 The Fan is now available through the Odyssey app, wherever you are in the San Diego area. Listen to every pitch of every Padres game on Odyssey. Just download the free Odyssey app. Search 97.3 The Fan to get started. Little behind here, so let's just go right to the flub. I don't think it's going to cost this person his job the way our last Don't Do This flub did with Glenn Kuiper and what he said. However,
he said a no word, but he didn't say that.
This is
This was a true flub. Let's play it. So it's the Auburn Vanderbilt college baseball game.
Do we know the name of the announcer?
I do not.
We do not.
I did not know the name of the announcer.
College baseball.
Yep.
Yes.
And he was talking about this player.
You can't turn the we can't turn the clock back.
He wanted to say we can't turn the clock back, but he said we can't turn the black clock, but not clock.
No L.
Correct.
You can't turn the we can't turn the clock back. I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back.
His partner,
and turn it back into the mid 80s.
One more time here, Paulie.
You can't turn the we can't turn the clock back. I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back and turn it back into the mid 80s.
Oh my God. And then he's like, the clock back.
I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back.
Clock back. Clock back is what he meant to say. One of my favorite flubs of all time.
You can't turn the we can't turn the clock back. I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back and turn it back into the mid 80s.
Yeah, he's not. There's not. I mean, nothing should happen to that dude at all. Nothing. Right?
Yeah. Fine. I just love how flustered he gets himself when he says it.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
You can't turn the we can't turn the clock back. I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back.
There you go.
Yeah. He had something on his mind.
All right. For do this, I will head to the NFL.
Mega doo-doo.
I love this attitude. You know what? Patrick Mahomes is already one of my favorite NFL players. He signed a contract extension back in 2020, big 10-year, $450 million deal at the time. But now, other guys have started getting their contracts and, other quarterbacks are getting paid more. Who in your mind deserves to be paid more in the NFL than Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, him.
He both performs individually and lifts his team to greatness and Super Bowl titles. Yet right now, he's only the 7th highest paid quarterback. And soon, after guys like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert will get their deals, he'll probably not even be in the top 10 in highest paid quarterbacks in the league. And you know what Patrick Mahomes' response to that is right now? It's not, hey, we need to renegotiate. You know what? Hey, we need to figure out a way to, make sure I'm paid for what I'm worth. He said, no, it doesn't bother him in the least bit. Quote, I've always said I worry about legacy and winning rings more than making money at this moment. We see what's going around the league, but at the same time, I'll never do anything that's going to hurt us from keeping the great players around me. So it's kind of teetering around that line. And, I heard the guys before us talking about, and I hadn't considered this, but it was an absolutely legitimate take. If Patrick Mahomes just continues on his current pace of performing and winning with the Chiefs, and there's no reason to think that it's going to stop, could he end up as a greater quarterback than Tom Brady at the end of his career?
I mean, maybe.
He's got 2 rings already.
Certainly.
He's got a lot of time left.
But it's that same, the legacy thing that he's doing is the thing that, I think after a while, I think people in sports media, you got tired of hearing, man, look at Tom Brady. Like, he's the 9th highest paid quarterback, and so he can build the team around him. There's not It's not wrong. Patrick Mahomes makes $45 million a year. It's not like I'm going to work for nothing so we can win rings. He makes $45 million a year, and God only knows in endorsements. At some point, you got to think, all right, like, I think it's a respect thing, though. If I'm playing quarterback in the NFL and I'm the best, I kind of want to be paid like the best, because you're basically signing up for a death wish every Sunday. And you're, all right, every game I play is probably 6 months off of my life at the end of it. And they're not going to be really fun years, as we've seen from a lot of quarterbacks. So I do understand that part. But I think that it's he's doing the right thing. That is the right thing to say. Absolutely, it's the right thing to say. Whether he believes it or not, okay.
I'll tell you what, if they win another one this year and
he's
they are among the favorites, if
Sure.
not the favorite right now going into the season, that conversation ramps up in intensity.
Brady's got what, 7, 6, 7?
7.
He's a long way to go.
Long way to go,
Long way
but
to
a
go.
lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
Now, longevity in the NFL is always a little dicey.
Different types of quarterbacks
Yes, it
entirely as well.
Very
It's
true.
going to be more what kind of team they keep around.
Keep around him.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. But with his paltry $45 million a year salary, Paulie, they're able to build around him.
And that is don't and do this for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
So missed him last week. Craig Elston last Friday took his kids to Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't working when he had his kids.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Didn't just didn't do his work and have the kids with him. He just took the day off.
Didn't really have a choice.
I know.
And they are being a little bit better now, but
we will.
No, you had a choice. You said, "Hey guys, I'm going to take Thursday off."
I could have
And we
taken
said,
Thursday
no,
off. No, I could have.
No,
probably should have. At this point, oh boy.
But we got Craig a day early for some crossing streams and some Padres talk. He will join us when we come back here with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by SC Johnson Raid. The new Raid Essentials light trap uses light to attract and then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes, turning your home into restricted airspace. For insecticide-free protection that's people and pet friendly, get new Raid Essentials light trap.
All right, so I apologize to Charles in the chat. I said I'm sorry. I'm a little bit on edge. Both my kids soiled themselves within 10 seconds of each other. I had to do two cleanups.
Mid-segment.
I lashed out. I'm sorry. This helped me put it in perspective. And I'll remember the thing the guy tagged this in. You guys sent it to me last night. I'm going to read that to Craig.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling Craig's going to be pretty hot under the collar as well. So I will read this. I apologize for lashing out. My blood pressure was like 200 over 90.
Well, remember, Craig almost completely accurately predicted the Padres 40-game start. Now,
he did.
He also said that's when things start turning around.
Click.
And we've yet to see that part of it. So we'll chat with Craig Elston right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the premier auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. Eastbound 78 still clear and crushed just past Nordall Road. Tow trucks on scene. Everything over to the right shoulder. The Big O Tires clear ride. South 5 coastline from Carlsbad all the way down to the split. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department is working hard to keep San Diego safe. It is now hiring. The Sheriff's Department offers rewarding careers with growth and has an opportunity for anyone with integrity that wants to make a difference. Go to joinsdsheriff.net to learn more. That's joinsdsheriff.net. I'm Kelly Danik with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now on our premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is our friend Craig Elston of the Crossing Streams podcast. Craig, now, do you agree with my epiphany earlier that for whatever reason, the Padres, the Orioles before them, even the Dodgers when he was on the Dodgers for a couple of months, teams just go as Manny goes. When he is on the team, they can't seem to help but follow whatever he's doing. And it's been absolutely 100% true in his entire time with the Padres, that when Manny plays well, the Padres play well. When he doesn't, everyone else doesn't. No one picks up the slack for him when he's not playing well either.
I mean, it's a narrative you can definitely apply, and I'll agree with it in that this week on Padres Hot Tub, we asked the question, what thing, if there's a thing out there, what's the thing that the Padres have to do in order to get to where they want to get? And my answer on the show was Manny doesn't just need to come back. Manny needs to come back and he needs to play like he did in 2022. He needs to play MVP level Manny Machado. And if he does that, the team will get to where we want them to get. And if he doesn't, they're going to have a really hard time getting there. So, yeah, I guess in a roundabout way, I do agree with you. It's hard for me to say one person control, like mind control, you know,
Right.
like I don't think Fernando shows up at the park and goes, how am I feeling? Better question. How's Manny feeling?
Right. I know.
Yeah. It's
man,
weird. It's just weird how it works.
Yeah. Or doesn't work.
Or doesn't work.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's been
Losing him. Craig, we're losing you a little bit. The connection's bad.
Hang on.
Paulie's going to figure it out.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
today?
People are in my timeline going, well, you're making excuses for the Padres. No, it's not. Everyone else should be better without Manny. It shouldn't matter if Manny's struggling that, all of a sudden Xander can't hit. Why should that happen? It really shouldn't. I'm just saying that that has been the case with every team he's been on.
It's kind of a fact at this point.
People say, well, the Orioles didn't have the payroll the Padres did. No, they didn't, but they had a good play. I mean, we're talking like a decade ago. They had other good players, who played well when Manny played well and didn't when he didn't. I mean, it's kind of freaky how much correlation there is between Manny and the rest of his teammates throughout his career.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, now
you're back.
we got
You're
you,
back.
buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, it does get back to what I think is the central issue with the Padres this year, which is the way that the roster's been built and how it's performing. This was built to be a stars and scrubs roster, and that always sounds pejorative when you say it. It's an actual style of roster construction, top heavy superstars at the top that lead the way, that power the production, and you fill in with, kind of minimum guys, fringe guys in other spots of the roster. Padres definitely have the fringe guys on, the bottom 5-6 spots of their roster. And I'll just say, because I've been his number one, critic, we're in a Rougned Odor hot pocket, and I'm here for it, right? Like, put the crisping sleeve on the Rougned Odor hot pocket. I'm here for this patch of production. It's outstanding. Doesn't change what he is as a player overall, but he's hot, so you play him. But that's not supposed to be what makes the Padres good or bad. It's supposed to be Tatis, Manny, Soto, Bogarts powering this offense. And look at every one of them, guys. Soto is the only one close to his career OPS plus right now. Everyone else is playing below. Tatis is playing like a good player. We need him to be a superstar. Xander Bogaerts is playing like a defensive wizard that occasionally produces with the bat. We need him to be a two-way stud all the time, and we need Manny healthy, raking, RBI, homers, confidence, defense, everything. Right now, Soto's the only guy who can pretty much hold his hand up in class and say, I'm finishing my assignment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And for as upset as I was about 30 minutes ago, I saw this tweet that Paulie sent over last night from Alex. He said, perspective, Ben and Woods. So this is really fascinating. Here's some equivalents to how far along the MLB season is right now. If we were in the NFL, we would be end of the first quarter of week 6, okay? If we were in an NBA game, we would be mid-second quarter of the 26th game of 82. If we were in a 40-hour work week, we would be Tuesday afternoon at 1:21 p.m. If we were in a 9-inning game, bottom of the third, 2 outs. If we were playing 18 holes, we would be approaching the green on the 6th hole. So I read those and I went, okay, idiot, plenty of time. Yeah, it is way.
It doesn't feel that way in the moment.
It doesn't feel that way in the moment at all, Paulie. I'm like pulling my hair out watching that game last night. And then I watch the highlights and I'm like, and I'm watching the scoreboard on May 25th. Dodgers lost. Diamondbacks lost. I'm like, you idiots. You could have picked up a game last night. And then I saw that graphic and I went, all right, we're at Tuesday at 1. We're not even to quitting time on Tuesday yet in the baseball season.
Now, I've ruined plenty of golf rounds in the first 5 holes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, Padres have made a couple of bogeys early, but there are plenty of holes left to make some birdies
and eagles
and
maybe
get back under par for sure.
But, again, the panic that everybody feels right now comes from watching what is a non-competitive, sloppy on the base path, sloppy AB team, and it doesn't inspire any confidence in you. Earlier in the season, Craig, you did feel like, oh man, we're a hit away in these games. Now you feel like, okay, we may be technically a hit away, but nobody can hit. That's the problem. So it is it's been a tough watch.
Yeah, and those comparisons are fun, and the analogies make sense, but this isn't one game.
Right.
This is a season. This is a warehouse that you have to fill up with wins over the course of a summer. And right now, the Padres have gotten almost 50 games into the season, and their warehouse is pretty empty. They've only got 22 wins in 49 tries so far. And so, yes, it's early. Also, it's not, because to get to 90 wins, and 90 wins won't win you the division.
Right.
90 wins is just, you're almost definitely a wild card team. The Padres have to go 68-45 the rest of the season. It's 23 games over 500 the rest of a season for a team that's 500 49 games in. Does that mean they can't do it? Does that mean it's too much to do? No, of course not.
But it's hard to
win
see.
6-7 games in a row and the numbers become more manageable. But right now, the idea of a team that's lost 5 straight series, including to the Royals, and has a series on the hook in Washington this morning, to say, oh, well, it's the approach shot on the 6th green. Yeah, but we're like 4 over par.
Right. Yeah. We're 4 over right now and about to not make the cut. And yeah, there's holes to figure it out, certainly. And the work week one is what got me. That's the one where I'm like, oh, that's a long way to Sunday. It is. On Tuesday at 1:21, you do feel like there's a long way to Sunday and you feel like you won't get there. But you got to play better Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday and Thursday morning.
I love these analogies, though. I mean, your warehouse analogy is great, Craig. Yeah, there's plenty of time to fill the warehouse, but you need to fix the forklifts.
That's right.
You can't fill the warehouse unless you have the proper equipment
You have
and manpower to do it.
Forklift right now that's working pretty good. Pretty good. The rest of them are kind of flat tires.
We love making analogies in sports.
We love it. We have to.
How about Bob Melvin? I have not sat here once and blamed Bob Melvin, and
he seems like he is defeated.
It's certainly a different kind of attitude than we've seen with other skippers. I mean, Jay Stingler, the sky was actually falling, and he would still say, "It's okay. We're good. Battling. We're close. We're about to get there."
Our best baseball.
Our best baseball.
With Bob Melvin, he sounds like he is as fed up as some fans, honestly, at times. After the game yesterday, he sounded as dejected as some of the people on my Twitter timeline. Is that okay for a manager to express that about his own team?
Certainly. And if I was in Bob Melvin's situation, I'd probably be, and I'm sure he is, far more frustrated than what he's letting on.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason is simple. What do you want if you're a manager and things are going badly for your team, right? You've already shot one of your magic bullets, right? You've already had a go into the clubhouse and airing them out situation. The players have had their meetings. The coaches are meeting with players. You've done all of this stuff. You've jangled the lineup around here and there. And, a couple of the decisions he's made that I haven't loved and others have been fine. But really, it's just reorganizing the deck chairs on a sinking ship right now. When you're a manager in a struggling spot, what you want is options. You want somebody you can bench and to have somebody that you can bring in and come up or call up that can change the dynamic. And one thing AJ Preller 100% has not done for this team is develop championship depth. We have a stars and scrubs roster. So you are getting the slim pickings of other teams' rejects and, fringe 40-man roster guys on whether it's a David Dahl or a Rugnet Odor or now down in AAA, Kevin Plawecki. Like, don't you think Bob Melvin would like to bench his catcher that's hitting 140 and have someone else be the catcher? But you got Brett Sullivan, who's barely keeping his head above water. And then you go down to AAA, and there's a dude that got let go by Washington last week. So you don't have an option, is my point. Who's the first baseman that can be called up and step in at first base and let Crone take over second? Who's the right fielder that could step up and allow Fernando to go to center field and give him an option in right field that he could play to boost the offense? None of them are there. They don't exist. They're on Pittsburgh's roster. They're on Seattle's roster. They're on Cleveland's roster. They're elsewhere when we made trades to get stars along the way. So that's why I think you hear kind of a, well, it is what it is message from Bob Melvin. He doesn't have the toys in his box to be able to pull out and change things when things are going poorly.
It is funny, though, Craig, because I know, at least a couple of the references you're making there. When they traded Tucapito Marcano, I was like, okay, fantastic. Like, was there any guarantee that any of those guys, a lot of those, Jorge Mateo had chances here. He got at bats, and we questioned every time he got one. It's wild how it works when guys go to Oakland and Baltimore and, Tampa Bay in a couple of cases. And you're like, oh, all right, well, there it is. That's the one that makes me scratch my head a lot. There's not too many guys he's let go that I said, damn it, that's a massive, massive depth piece that's going to crush us when we have a $250 million payroll.
Right. But at the same time, it's who you get too, right? So, and again, not to litigate things from 3 years ago, but this is about the time where trades truly landed, right?
Yeah.
You traded Ty France, you traded Andres Munoz, you traded Luis Torrens, and you traded one more, right? Taylor Trammell to get Austin Nola and a couple of relievers. The relievers are gone.
They're gone.
Austin Nola is the worst hitting catcher in baseball, one of the worst performers in baseball.
So far.
And all of those guys would be helpful. Literally all of those guys would be helpful. You traded for 2 months of Adam Frazier. Yeah, Tucapito Marcano, who came right. Jack Sawinski, right?
He's
a
been
young
great.
outfielder, left-handed batter with a 113 OPS plus. Is he setting the world on fire? No, but that's what depth is. It's not to say that every time Preller's made a trade, it's a mistake. It's to say that the trades have been of a very similar vein.
Yeah.
Almost every Preller trade is trading young guys you don't know for someone who's been hot for a minute.
Yep.
Austin Nola was hot for a minute, right? And Clevenger was hot for a minute, and Frazier was hot for a minute. And it's buying high, selling low.
Sure.
Has been what he's been doing, and over time, you're going to see the negative repercussion of constantly buying high and selling low, and that's where we are.
We're going to need the short version for your Crossing Streams recommendation, but it's a show that's on my list because I really like Kerry Russell. So tell us about The Diplomat.
Yeah, The Diplomat on Netflix is a big time recommendation for me, and this is going to be one of those shows that it's not for everyone. I think it's the kind of show, frankly, that Woodsy, you might get bored and tune out in the first hour before it really kicks in, because it's a different kind of show. If you're a West Wing type fan, then you're going to love this show. Written and directed by Deborah Kahn, who was a big part of the Homeland staff. Kerry Russell is kind of a very gritty, hard scrabble, absolutely no grace to her, deep state official, so to speak. She's one of those people who's working in Afghanistan, working in Uzbekistan behind the scenes, and her husband is a super high-powered diplomat too. And in the pilot of The Diplomat, she has sent her character, Kate Weiler, to become the ambassador to England for a series of diplomatic things that happen. And a real kind of political unspooling takes place over the course of this show. This is a script acting, people in rooms walking and talking type show. If you're looking for action, you're not going to find it. This is people talking about what might happen, but I love it.
It's like Padres baseball. I mean, is it more exciting or less exciting than watching the offense?
There's just as much cursing.
Okay, good.
All right. Depends on who you are.
If there's nudity, I'm in. It's the one
we're
thing
out
I'm
of time.
missing from-
Appreciate you joining us on a Thursday here,
Love you,
Craig.
buddy.
It was good to have you back this week. Thank you.
Take care, boys.
Craig Elston, our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads. It's a Throwback Thursday. We go back 1 year next.
All right, we are halfway home on a Thursday. It's essentially our Friday. Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan.
Was that the longest 2 hours you've ever done?
Yeah,
on radio.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you've got the 4-day weekend coming up.
Yeah,
but mostly you're dealing with your two children.
Yes, they're both here
constantly.
Bo and Taylor are out there, and both had an accident at the same time. That was like that was a bit of a fire drill for me. So, but you do what you have to do. They're fantastic kids. They're both chilling right now. One's eating goldfish, one's eating a granola bar, and they're watching Home Alone 4, which I can't imagine.
I didn't even know they had that.
Nor did I. So I go to Disney Plus. They love Home Alone. So I go to Disney Plus to put in Home Alone. Expired. It's not on Disney Plus anymore. Like, really, like that's kind of a classic that just one of those that needs to be there at all times. But it wasn't. And so, yeah, they're chilling now. And if we can get through the next two, we're on vacation and everything's going to be great. Going to head to the aquarium and do that whole deal. Hannah's in New York. She's going to be going to the game on Saturday. So I look forward to the challenge, as most dads do. You look forward to the challenge when mom's out of town. A little easier, I think. It's a little easier to parent.
Oh, that's interesting.
Don't you
because it's much harder when you don't have help. Yet, stress-wise, you're also not worried about what the other parent is thinking,
judging, watching, looking.
The job
yeah.
that you're doing.
Look at the baby. Look at the baby.
Your standards can be whatever you want them to be. You don't have to achieve any minimum bar of parenting anymore.
My plan is to demolish the house this week when we get back to the house. Demolish it, dishes, the whole bit, and then on Sunday we all grind on it together, and get it all dialed in for when she comes home. She doesn't operate that way. She is if there's a mess, it needs to be picked up right now. If there's laundry, it needs to be done right now. I don't operate that way. Let's pile it up, clean it, and then we're good. She walks in, spotless house, we're good to go. Had an idea last night as I was watching this game, and I'll be honest with you guys. I was shirtless when I had this idea, and that had something to do with it. And I texted you both about it. And I said, I think the Padres organization may be mad at me for pitching this idea to our audience, but I mean, you win some, you lose some. I'd like to use their offensive futility to our advantage somehow. And I ran it by Ben and Paul, and I said, what if we made a little graphic, sent it out, challenged our audience? Let's all get in a little bit better shape. We could all use a little tightening and toning and firming, all of us. Not one of us is, couldn't do without it. So I said, man, what if every time they struck out, you had to do 10 sit-ups? What if every time, or 20 sit-ups? Because 20 sit-ups is pretty easy. Every time.
I don't know. I mean, they strike out
9 times.
9 times.
That's 180.
That's way too many sit-ups for me. I'm not doing that many.
So there's a couple different ways you can do it. So let's say 10 sit-ups for 10 push-ups for a failure to hit with runner in scoring position, right? So Tatis is up, man on second, 2 outs. He flies out. That's 10 push-ups. You didn't drive in that run. 10 push-ups there. Now, you can do it 2 ways. You can wait till the end of the game, and if they lose the game, you got to do 25 jumping jacks. And I looked at it and I go, I feel like we would all be in a lot better shape with as poor, like use it to our advantage a little bit. I also have started watching the games like I'm watching a slapstick comedy. Makes them a little more enjoyable.
What are we calling this? Futility fitness?
The futility fitness. Fit and futility. Yeah, futility fitness.
Now, I'd like there to be rewards the other way. Like, if the Padres get a hit with a runner in scoring position,
eat a sandwich.
I get a donut.
Okay.
If
now
the Padres win a game, I get a sub sandwich.
Or it take it off your tab.
You can take it off. So the way that I want to do it is, and it really depends on how you consume the game every day. If you're watching and you're solo, like you are at work, oh man, Grish, it's like Willie Mays Hayes. Every time you pop one up, you owe me 10 push-ups or 20 push-ups. He's got to do it right there. So you can do it as it comes, which I think may be easier than, oh my God, before I go to bed, I now have 90 push-ups and 300 sit-ups.
That's a good point. Like over 3 hours during a game, it's a lot more manageable than having to do them all at once.
Yeah, if you want to save up to the end, you could really. And so I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to start that. I'm not going to do it this week. I'm on vacation. I'm going to start it next week when we were back in the groove starting next Tuesday. Yeah, Padres futility fitness.
Well, hold yourself accountable. We're not going to.
No, you don't have to.
We're not going to punish you if you don't do it.
Right. But if you want to participate in futility fitness, you can.
But
because
you could. I mean, the best case scenario, Padres get hot, start winning.
We're all fat.
And you don't have to do much in the way of exercise.
Right.
Worst case scenario, Padres playing terribly, but you're getting fit as we go along.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You did some numbers last night, Ben.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh God.
I said to Ben, I go, you're at work right now. Give me like what we would have had to do
What would our workout have been?
The last 10 games, essentially, for the San Diego Padres. What did you get for
What's
us?
the record in those 10 games?
3-7.
3-7,
I believe.
How do we win 3?
So if let's say we were doing 10 push-ups per strikeout. Over the last 10 games, we would have to do 860 push-ups.
Oh my God. An average of 86 push-ups a game.
Did you hear that?
Wait,
that was my soul leaving my body.
How much? 860.
860 push-ups for 86 strikeouts.
Oh my God.
If we were doing 20 sit-ups
86
for
a
every
day.
failed attempt with runners in scoring position, we would have done 1,120 sit-ups. 56 times the Padres have come up with runners in scoring position over the past 10
in
games.
the last 10 games.
And not gotten a hit. 56 times.
In the last
But hey, they
10
have gotten about 3 hits as well. So
in the last 10 games. Oh my God.
I only won yesterday, actually.
Oh my God. I'm in. Let's do it.
That's a lot of fitness.
It's a lot of fitness. A lot of
San
fitness.
Diego, already a fit town. We could be the fittest town in America.
JWW says drinking games sound like more fun. Yeah, dude, they do, but I'd be at Betty Ford. Imagine doing a shot for every strikeout. I mean, you'd be like,
Die of
you'd be
alcohol
like
poisoning.
pee in your pants every night in bed. There's no way. There's no way you could do it. 10 push-ups, 20 sit-ups per home run. Now, Alex, I mean, 10 burpees. Kate, I hate burpees. I can't do that. All right, yeah. So maybe we can post it on Twitter. What's responsible? I mean, it's up to you to tally along. I can't do it at the end of a game. Like right before bed, I can't go. I gotta go rip out 900 sit-ups before bed. But no, I think
You'll
it'd
be
be
doing them
funny.
during commercial breaks throughout the show the next morning.
Yeah, exactly. So 10. All right, I can do this.
Futility fitness.
Futility fitness. 10 push-ups. What's the rules? 10 push-ups for every
strikeout.
Okay.
20 sit-ups for every failure with runners in scoring.
And then
position.
if they lose the game, you do 50 jumping jacks.
I worry about that sit-up total because they get a leadoff runner at second base. That could be
You might as well
60
start
in an
getting
inning
down on the
right
ground.
there.
Get ready.
Just get on the ground. Just put a yoga mat next to in front of where you watch the TV. I think we could all get shredded. I think it'd be a fun thing to try. I'm sure the Padres are furious at me, but what are you going to do? Hit better, play better. What am I going to do? I'm trying to take this negative and spin it into a positive here, because it has not been positive this year. I do wonder, man. Don't you guys wonder about our beloved Peter Seidler and what he thinks right now? He's got to be scratching his head, man. He's very zen. He's very patient and very calm. He is unlike us. At least that's the persona that we see from him. And I don't necessarily think he goes into the garage after a game and beats up a heavy bag or something like that. I don't see it. I feel like with Peter, what you see is what you get. I thought last night about our beloved Ron Fowler and how I was actually happy for him that he doesn't have to sit through this, because Ron, very much like us and me, he would take these very, very seriously, and the blood pressure would be spiking through the roof, I'm sure. So,
Obviously, publicly, the Padres are going to keep saying, hey, we believe in this team. We're going to turn it around here. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Do you think privately, though, when AJ Preller talks to Peter Seidler and Bob Melvin is in the room, are they as concerned as the fans are privately?
Ben, do you know what I would give to be a fly on the wall at just one of their hitters meetings or one of their Preller, Melvin? Like, what do you want? How much you want? I would do anything to sit in just for I wouldn't even share the info. I just want to know, for my own personal knowledge, what something like that looks like, because it's got to be, knowing their personalities as well as we do. And again, just from knowing them on the surface, it's got to be contentious at this point, doesn't it? And I don't mean screaming and flipping over chairs and you better get your ass together, but it's got to be a bit passive aggressive. It's got to be a bit kind of, exasperated, right? I would imagine, wouldn't you?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime.
If me and you were
it's
responsible,
your livelihood.
It's your reputation.
And it's not going well.
Right.
Yeah, you're not gonna be in the best of moods, I would think.
Yeah. If it were me and you in charge of getting
now, they
this
also
ship,
know that it doesn't necessarily do them any good to just go, I can't believe Xander Bogaerts has been you're terrible. You're not getting the job done. Xander knows that as well as anybody. It's one thing if you get a bunch of rookies who are they don't know how to play, they don't understand it.
Listen, man, if you're the Oakland A's right now and you're Mark Kotsay, I brought this up briefly the other day. Mark Kotsay, you look at what's going on in Oakland, they've won 10 games, on pace to have one of the worst. Does anyone put any shred, a toenail of blame on Mark Kotsay? I don't. He was handed a mission that there was no coming back from. None. Bro, navigate this storm. Just sit through this. Can you get through this? That guy deserves, after this year and when their move is finished, he deserves to continue as manager. He is wearing it, man. He is the guy in the third inning after the starter gave up 12. He's the guy saying, bro, we have no more arms. You have to wear it. And he's like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll wear it. Guys like that, the blame should not fall at their feet. I think that there's probably a small amount of finger pointing going on right now. I would imagine there would be with this team.
Well, I see a lot of
sides.
finger pointing actually already with the Padres.
No, I mean like internal finger pointing.
I see a lot of internal finger pointing. You know who they're pointing at? Mostly at themselves.
Yeah.
Guys like Xander Bogaerts keeps pointing the finger at himself going, I'm not playing well. I'm not playing well. They understand that. That's got to be a tough thing for the manager. Bob Melvin's job is not to get through to these guys to make them understand they're not playing well. They all know they're not playing well. And they also all know how to play well. They've all done it in the past.
Where do you guys stand on it's Bob Melvin's job to get them motivated and he's not a good motivator? Because I see that
I think
lot.
that's like 0.1% of his job.
Right.
I don't really think motivation with this team in particular shouldn't any part of the issue.
It shouldn't be.
It's not a non-motivated team.
I think for the most part in professional sports, if you have a
If you
group
need the
full of guys that
rah-rah.
need that motivation from their coach, you got the wrong group of guys.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Someone is going to have to fall on the sword, though. If it doesn't go well, that's obvious. I mean, look, I have the NFL mentality right now because it's going so poorly that I'm like, if the rest of this road trip, Ben, goes poorly, someone's going to have to fall on the sword soon. Somebody, like, there's got to be something done because it is insane what is happening right now. The level of futility and poor play is
why though? Would it be just because that's what's always been done in the past?
Because you can't change without change, and very simple. I mean, you have to have some sort of the new voice in the room sometimes work. And I'm not saying Bob Melvin. I'm not. Believe me, I'm not calling for his head. I love Bob Melvin. But there's got to be a different way to do it, because whatever they're doing right now is not working. I don't know who that person is. I've got ideas, but I don't know that it would happen. I don't know that it would happen at all. But how do you continue? How do you continue floundering and sinking down the drain and just say, no, it's fine. We're going to grind it out. Everything's cool.
I'll
It's
tell
not
you,
the A's. There's different expectations.
I'll tell you one thing the Padres and A's have in common.
They both play baseball.
The Athletic just released their grades for each team so far this season. Only 2 teams in Major League Baseball received an F.
Wow, dude.
That would be the Oakland A's and the San Diego Padres.
Wow.
F grade.
That's such embarrassing company to be in.
Through the first 50 or so games of the season. Here's what Dennis Lynn wrote. If the regular season ended today, the Padres would not qualify for the playoffs, and their offense would be remembered for producing at the same level as the $59 million A's. Fortunately for the Padres, the season does not end today, but when you have a $249 million payroll and World Series aspirations, barely outperforming the Rockies qualifies as a failure. Josh Hader remains elite. A few other pitchers have exceeded expectations, and the team's defense is solid, but the pressure is on the Padres to avoid a repeat of 2015 and 2021. Grade F.
Cool.
an F. I think that's absolutely the right grade. I really do. I don't think that they're being too tough on the Padres. I don't see how you could look at it as anything else than an F.
All right, let's hold off until our next segment. We'll do our Throwback Thursday. Paulie's dug back a year, and we don't take a ton of calls on the show. And honestly, I don't know why we don't, because when we do get calls, mostly they're good, and occasionally they're what happens a year ago, and that's good too. That can be good radio as well. Really good or really bad is what you're kind of hoping for when you go to the phone lines.
I have no idea what this is.
I actually remember it was on a Thursday because we bumped Eno Saris. That's how we postponed Eno Saris.
Oh.
That's how good or bad, however you want to look at it, this call was.
Or weird. Maybe just weird.
I texted Eno. I said, we're about 10 minutes behind.
I don't remember this at all.
We'll tell you why.
All right, that's coming up next. We'll be back after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Film. Throwback Thursdays are always fun here on Ben and Woods.
I like to look back every now
It's
and
nice
then.
that we've amassed enough time in these chairs that we can go back and not only dig up some of our favorite moments, but we've had moments that we've forgotten about.
I forget about
that
most.
exist in the archives.
Yeah.
And Woodsy said, I don't even know where we're going today.
I like you guys get a nice long explanation of it. I still have no idea what the hell we're doing.
So, Paulie, let's go back just a year in time. You said it was a Thursday as well, around this time of the year.
It'll be a year ago tomorrow.
Okay.
But yes, it was a Thursday. I specifically remember having to text Eno Saris and explain to him why we weren't calling him on time. And it was because of Al.
Al.
Does that ring any bells, Woodsy?
Al.
We had a caller, and I think we tried to get him on the line, and it didn't work because this clip starts with Ben
yes.
saying, let's give it one more. Now, he did. Ben did what he always does.
Yeah.
We were up against the clock, and he's like, I'm going to squeeze one
One
more question.
One
more moment.
One more little tidbit.
He's that guy at last call that's like, let's get 2 more drinks before we go. I'm like, bro, I can't even stand up.
He's that
right
guy
now.
in the all staff meeting. All right, are there any other
Yes,
questions?
I got one more
question.
I got one more.
Shut
I'm
up.
gonna
Let us get
murder
out of here.
you.
So let's go back 1 year ago tomorrow. Al.
I want to try Al one more time because he's called
Okay,
back.
all
And I
right.
felt bad
Let's
that
try
it
it
didn't
again.
work out the first time. So attempt number 2 for Al here on 97.3 The Fan.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Al. This is where you talk now.
We got you.
Hi, could you hold a moment? I'm an automated Google service and this call is recorded to improve quality. I'm connecting you to the customer now.
Oh, okay. Just let it roll. Just wait. What in the F?
Hello?
I'm sorry about the delay. I'm ringing the user's device. They should join shortly.
Great.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank
we'll
you.
wait. That's fine.
Yeah, we're fine. We're on
Yeah.
hold.
It's not typically
radio.
how Sports Talk Radio
So,
works, but
I
we do
mean,
things a little differently.
We literally
Yeah.
went to a commercial break, and let's see. All right, we went to a commercial break. We came back, and we were still trying to get a hold of
Still
Al.
waiting.
He's called twice.
Calling from a
Did he have
calling
his-
card or
Did
something.
he have his Google Assistant call us twice? Is that
Can you
what's
get better
going on
Woods
here?
on the horn, Al? I don't want to hang up.
No, I'll ride this out.
I'll write it out.
I'll
to
tell
the end
Eno.
of the show.
We'll catch up with Eno tomorrow.
Hello, you're on the air. This is Ben and Woods. Al, are you there? Automated Google person, are you there?
Hey Google, WTF? Still wait. This is why I'm an Amazon guy.
Hello?
Still waiting.
We'll be back with Eno Saris in just.
Al, are you there yet?
Al?
3 breaks.
Hello.
Hey, there he is. How
Is
you
that-
doing?
Are you Al or are you the Google assistant?
No, I'm Al.
Hi,
Oh,
Al.
hi, Al.
How you doing?
That was a weird phone call.
Hey, listen, I want to tell you, you guys put on a great show.
Thank you, buddy.
I really enjoy the information that you all get out.
Appreciate it.
I came from the East Coast where my home team had good field, no hit center fielders. And watching Trent Grisham, it's like deja vu.
Nothing's changed.
I mean,
Great field.
He
Great field.
is fielding nice.
150 batting average for a major league ball player. Come on. With a third of the season over.
It's a quarter. We're a quarter in. But I get
very
your
sad.
point. I catch your drift.
I would like to throw out a name for AJ to look at.
Okay. Oh, I remember that.
Michael Taylor for the Brewers. He's buried down in the
The former national.
depth. Yes.
I mean, Al went on for 5
minutes
straight minutes.
about-
And he started with the Padres and Trent Grisham.
The 49ers.
He went to
because
Oh my
of
God,
the
I remember this.
people that they've got. I became a fan of what the hell's his name?
Right.
Jerry Rice,
Ronnie Lott.
Joe Montana,
No,
George Kittle.
Frank Gore.
the coach. The coach.
Shanahan.
Yeah, when Shanahan was the offensive coordinator with RG3.
I don't even.
And I started going online looking for places, and
We
I
just let him
can't
go.
stand what
He
Bally
did.
has done to the fans out here
Yeah.
in
What?
terms of watching the Padres.
Back to
You're a
the
little all over
Padres.
the map here on this call here, Al. We've gone.
Sounds like my missus telling a story.
Sorry, Al.
Sorry,
you
man.
know what? We got to let you go.
Well, now that I threw
Okay,
Michael
go ahead.
Taylor out there, the only thing I want to tell the fans is that if there's fly cunning and alert and go out on the internet, they're going to find places that are rebroadcasting every bloody Padres game.
He's still going.
There were 13 places that were rebroadcasting games last night. I'm not a big NHL fan. I like to watch Ovechkin play when I was back
It is just like
out
Hannah
east.
telling me a story at home.
But I've really lost touch with that.
Okay.
And
This
the NBA, I don't really
uncomfortable.
follow that too much either.
All right.
I mean, we got several minutes
I
more.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. That is unbelievable.
We were not on YouTube this time last year. If we had cameras on us during that,
Do you want to call Eno and tell him we're going to be a little late because we're replaying
the guy that
Al's
bumped him
phone
last
call
time
from a year ago? We're not going to have time for him today.
Yeah, honestly, man, this is where, the value of a phone screener really comes in handy. The guy that can be like, all right, man, hey, thanks for the call, Al. And then gives you the don't take Al. Like, but we don't have that. So
then again, you could call in, have a great, well-constructed Padres take for 30 seconds. It'd be a good phone call. We're not playing it again a year later,
right?
But we're playing Al again a year later.
Yeah, those are the ones
it's
that stand
memorable and it stands out. So you'd be really, really good or really, really bad if you want to get on the air with Ben and Woods. Is the moral of that story?
Roberto's. I'm going to burn the building down. What was it from Office Space? That guy, the dude.
Oh,
Milton.
Milton.
Yeah, very, very Milton-esque of that. Oh, thank you for that throwback. That was fantastic. Back to the bathroom I go.
Back to the bathroom
again?
for Woods. Eno Saris with his smart baseball segment on a Thursday. He's got sticky stuff talk. And I don't know if we're going to figure out the Padres or not, but we'll discuss.
We've asked him every Thursday during the
Same
season.
questions every week on 97.3 The Fan. Star 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Hint Water. Hint Water, delicious fruit-infused water with zero sugar or diet sweeteners. Hint is water with a touch of true fruit flavor. More than 25 delicious flavors in stores or at hintwater.com. We just get a hint as to how to fix the San Diego Padres on offense. It would be appreciated. Another week of struggles in the book. Every Thursday, we discuss it with Eno Saris from The Athletic. He will join us.
He's got to be sick of this
I'm
conversation
sure.
too,
I'm
right?
sure he
He will
is.
join us right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the Premier Auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
Traffic is sponsored by Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Got a couple things going on here, guys. One is a collision on the Massachusetts Avenue off-ramp, westbound King Freeway, northbound side of the 805, right before the 8. We have reports of some carpet or some other debris in the two left lanes, and stalled car on the southbound side of the 163 before Washington Street in the second lane from the left. Coach Quintero and Joe Musgrove's choice. They're a different kind of dealership, looking to be a solid community partner and deliver excellent service. Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Chevrolet finds new roads. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3.
Yeah, I hate to be a broken record as we bring Eno back with us on
Hey,
the Premier
buddy.
Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. But, Eno, guess what happened to the Padres this week? They failed to hit with runners in scoring position. They lost some games that they should have won, and we're all sitting here in panic mode, more than a quarter of the way through the season now.
Yeah, let's it's a remix.
It is a remix. Son of a bitch. It is a remix, Eno Saris. If it gives Padre fans any comfort, and I don't think it does, the guys that are on our squad are certainly not the only superstars in Major League Baseball not performing right now. And, you just did a really cool piece. I do want to get to your sticky stuff piece you wrote, because I was telling the guys about the contraption, the $5,000 contraption. That would pretty much, for me, signal the end of baseball as we know it if they wheel that thing out at every stadium. But we'll get to that in a moment. I want to talk about the hitting. What's up with this guy, part 2, examining 7 struggling hitters. Now on your list, you've got one Padre right now, and it's Xander Bogaerts, preseason rank for Yahoo, 39th best player in baseball, best hitter. Now he's at 245, but he's far from alone. Some really, really big stars at the top of the list: Trey Turner, Julio Rodriguez, Austin Riley, guys that George Springer, guys we expect to mash often. It's just not clicking so far this season.
Yeah, and for the most part, I'm positive on a lot of them. The ones I'm less positive about are the older ones, and I think there's a little bit of hope in there for Padres fans, because the players that I'm the least upbeat about are guys like Jose Abreu, who is 36.
Yeah.
And, at 36 years old, 175 plate appearance of super struggle bunny. In the past, there have been 87 players his age or older that have had seasons that started like this. Only 21 of them had another 200 plate appearances, and only one of them had an OPS over 800.
Wow.
And that was Andre Dawson. So the odds are super stacked against him. Even somebody like Starling Marte at 34, he's going to have to do better than most 34-year-olds to get back on the horse. And I think he's pretty athletic, so even if he's lost some, he'll be all right. But the nice thing about the Padres is they're not really old. They're not depending on Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, they look it. They do. They do look old, and it is.
But
it's
they're
wild.
they're not.
They're not.
They aren't actually.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I did notice something when I was looking up the team this week for my 3-0 podcast. So in May, they have a top 10. They have a top 5 bullpen and the sixth best rotation. The Padres do. And I think that passes the smell test. If you've been looking at that bullpen, it's coming together, right? Like the bullpen's not the reason they're in trouble.
Yeah.
No.
And the rotation's been fine. Yeah, not every game is pitched flawlessly, but like they've been pretty good. And it's been the lineup, which is I think was 20th best. And the other thing I noticed was in the top 10. So I looked at increase in slider percentage year over year for batters. And in the top 10, you see Manny Machado, Juan Soto, Trent Grisham, and Jake Cronenworth. So 4 out of the top 10 biggest increases in slider percentage are on the Padres. So I'm wondering if they've got sort of a go get it philosophy. Hit that pitch out in front and hit it for power. And if they're being fed a ton of sliders in response. And if that is the case, I don't know, sometimes you got to let it travel in your bag, right? And so you got to, to get out of the slump, to be like, I'm going to let it travel. I'm going to hit it the other way. And that means I'm going to hit some sliders the other way too. And, but I'm going to actually hit them,
Yeah.
And maybe the power will go down for a little bit, but we'll start hitting some singles, and then we'll start getting more fastballs, and then we can hit the fastballs for power. So, I wonder if there's something there, an adjustment to how many sliders they're seeing.
As someone who deals with baseball statistics more than just about anyone else, in your opinion, how many at-bats does it take in the big leagues before you have a sense like, okay, we know who this guy is now? I mean, is it more than a full season? Is it 3 years, like 1,000 at-bats? Where do you kind of draw the line where we can now predict what kind of player this is based on his past performance?
That is a great question, because you've got guys like Alec Thomas coming up for the D-backs, and they gave him, about, let's see how many plate appearances they gave him, 534 before they sent him back down, combined in the first 2 seasons. I think that's a little light, and I don't think that the Diamondbacks would say that they've given up on him, right? But around then became time to be like, well, he hasn't been a league average player in the big leagues yet, so he needs to go back down and work on some stuff, right? So I would think around 1,000 plate appearances is where you can start to say we were maybe a little bit wrong about how good this player can be.
No, that's fair. And I wanted to connect it to the Padres because most of the guys on the team have well over that.
Oh, you're asking sort of like in one? Oh no. Yeah, so there's a career versus.
Yeah,
I was talking career, but you mean in 1 year?
No, I'm talking about career.
Career,
Xander Bogaerts. We've seen enough of Xander. We've seen enough of Manny, obviously, to know what kind of players they are.
Yep.
The guy that I'm leaning toward is Trent Grisham, because I thought in the first couple of years of Trent Grisham, we had a pretty good idea of who he was. Decent hitter, going to hit 250, 260 with some power. He's got a good eye, is disciplined at the plate. And now we've got about 1,000 plate appearances or more in the last couple of years of a completely different guy who's been terrible. And I'm just trying to figure out like where
change of him.
When do we decide that Trent Grisham is no longer the player we thought he was?
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that if you just take the sum of everything he has done in the big leagues and compare that to his rest of the season projections, it's virtually identical.
Wow. So
basically, he is all of those things wrapped up into one. But that also means that the 250 hitter might be gone. So in terms of rest of season projections, 215 to 220, 315 on base percentage, and a sub 400 slugging percentage.
Good defense, but at some point,
it's with that OBP, it's almost league average, and with the defense, it's still a good player. But that's why I was talking about trying Tatis in center.
Yeah,
a couple episodes ago on the show was just that this is the type of player that you could really love as a fourth outfielder, I think. You know what I mean? Like,
good idea.
Come in, play good defense, get on base. So, like, if I was looking for something to goose this team along, I'd be looking for a corner outfielder, and I'd be trying Tatis in center, because there's no reason Tatis can't be a center fielder. And if you're paying him the money you're paying him, he should probably play a premium defensive position.
It's a really, really good point. We talked about yesterday. There was somebody made a really astute point about, they're talking about catching here, and catching's a big issue, and there's just not a lot of catchers, and the teams that have
you can't get a catcher.
You can't get a catcher. So in order to be able to deal with, Austin Nola and his catching woes, his inability to throw out base runners, his lack of hitting, lack of production, and to be able to deal with that, you might just have to upgrade the positions around him, and meaning you can't have Trent Grisham in a lineup as well. It's a weird way to think of it, but it actually makes sense, and that is the same principle that you're applying to Tatis and Grisham. And I really that makes a lot of sense to me in my head, because there's no one's giving up a catcher, no one for the Rockies,
and no one's giving up a center fielder.
Yeah, no one's giving up a center fielder. Exactly.
When the Phillies needed a center fielder, they had to give up their best catching prospect, right? So that kind of circled their whole story.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I guess you could try to get tickle somebody with Campusano, but I don't think Campusano, I think his stock has fallen a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think you'd rather Campusano gets healthy, and maybe he can help you a little bit behind the dish.
Yep.
And you just go get a corner outfielder. There's definitely some corner outfielders on bad teams that should be available, maybe even soon,
Yeah, no question about it. Talking to our pal Eno Saris, writes for The Athletic, the super polished, yet to be named Smart Baseball Weekly segment. It is a mouthful, but then again, so is the ASTM D6195 adhesive loop tack, which is the new machine that Eno has found.
We need a nickname for that thing.
It needs a nickname. Nuke. Right? So sticky stuff remains an issue in baseball. Players are getting suspended. Players are having to run off the field and wash their hands. It's a thing. And, I made the point off the air this morning. I said, the thing about baseball players, and I know you'll agree with this, in I believe it's Japan or Korea, one of the two, they do have a tackier ball, and it's everyone uses it, and it's fine. We would get the tackier ball, and then guys would still be trying to find a way to improve on that to get an extra 100 RPMs. This test that Dr. Dan Adams has been doing. Explain to our audience about the ASTM D6195 adhesive loop tack.
Well, so my problem is, one of the reasons I broke the sticky stuff story was because I didn't like selective enforcement. I didn't like the idea that maybe the game would be big enough where you risk the blowback and ding the guy, because everybody was kind of doing it, and only Michael Pineda was getting in trouble, So I didn't like the selectivity. But now we've got subjectivity, because we've got an umpire out there massaging hands going, is this too sticky? I don't know. Going hands through hair, being like, I don't know, is there a problem here? It's kind of sticky. I don't know. And so it seems very subjective now. And I would like something objective. So I went to the world of industrial testing. And yes, you're right. It's like one of those big old supercomputers. It's too big.
It's huge.
It's not like it's not like 5 feet tall, but it's like 2.5, 3 feet tall, and you would have to be in the dugout or something. My point is not so much that we're going to wheel that machine out, and that you're right, it would be ridiculous if that was on the field. But my point is that they do have the technology to test for tackiness in industry. And if that could be adapted to baseball somehow, that would be cool. But then, in the story, I had a better example, a better test that is also objective. So what you need is a constant force, and gravity is a constant force. Even in Denver versus San Diego, gravity is constant. And so what you just need is a ball that's lighter than a baseball, but covered in leather. And then you stick that ball. So imagine a wiffle ball covered in leather, right? So it looks like a baseball, but it's lighter. And you stick that ball on their hand, and if it doesn't fall, they're popped.
That's incredible. Imagine that. All right, you guys stick it instead of flipping your hand this way, palm up, you hold your hand palm down, and they stick the ball to it.
Stick this thing, and if it doesn't drop,
you're good.
You're bang.
I'm picturing OJ on trial trying to put on the gloves, like they're shaking it a little, trying to get it to fall.
What's brilliant about this is that the pitchers could have a light ball, so you could actually distribute this light ball to the team, and pitchers could have a light ball in the dugout, and test it themselves before they run out.
Before the inning.
That's
it's not
actually
bad, man.
I mean, it's better than having like I'm picturing you when you go to the airport and you go through the TSA screen and you have to put your arms above your head and it spins around you. Just each pitcher as they walk off the field goes through the TSA screener machine before they get back into the dugout. I agree with you though. It's totally unfair to umpires to make them, first of all,
it's
don't
unfair to
touch
umpires
another man
and
just intimately
Yeah,
every single inning, and then have to decide what they think is sticky. I mean, we all have days where we feel a little stickier than other days. It's just natural.
What if the umpire's sticky that day?
Right, yeah. What if he's sticky? It's so funny. So funny. Well,
what if that one umpire, Kuzi or whatever,
Yeah.
the guy who's popped like almost everybody that's been popped for this, what if he's just a sticky dude?
He's a sticky guy. He eats Laffy Taffies before the game. No, I mean, look, it's
just a real sweaty dude.
it doesn't get any easier for the Padres. The schedule, we thought this was going to be the soft part. Every game feels like it's game 7 as a fan to watch, but hopefully by this time next week when we catch up with you, there'll be some dubs in the tank and some guys getting some knocks, because it is a really frustrating watch right now, to be honest with you.
They gotta get Manny back.
Yep.
Once they get Manny back, hopefully they'll start playing to the back of their cards. None of them are so old that you think they're done. And then once they start, the offense starts going. You hope that the pitching stays where it is.
Right.
You just don't want that thing where then the pitching falls apart.
Yeah, the pendulum.
Yeah, but I think probably I'm not saying that the division is like impossible, but I think at this point they're just hoping to stay in the the race for like 88 or whatever.
Yep.
And get one of those wild card spots, because I do think like you get into the playoffs, they're a good enough team to have a run if everyone's like on the same page. Like just the idea of Soto, Machado, Tatis as a 3-4-5 or a 2-3-4. That's pretty good if they're going well. So, they've still got a quality team, and I think they also haven't had that, like, every team has that run where you're just like, I don't know why, but they've just won 10 in a row, and they just haven't had that yet, like they haven't even gotten lucky.
Yeah, no luck.
They are an incredibly unlucky team as well.
Really
In addition,
are.
they make some of their own bad luck, but they've been pretty unlucky as well. I think anyone would agree with what they've seen. Eno, we're out of time. Appreciate it. As always, we'll talk to you next Thursday.
All right, thanks for having me.
That was Eno Saris, sponsored by 7 Mile Casino, featuring all of your favorite table games like California-style blackjack, poker, and baccarat. Just 7 minutes from the ballpark.
All guests appear on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new road. So what Eno is saying, and I don't know whether Padres fans are going to be okay with this or not, but it's time to reset your expectations for this team.
Yep.
We had
Sucks,
much
man.
higher expectations.
Sucks.
Win the division, first round bye. That's no longer realistic. Not impossible, but those shouldn't be the expectations. It's now get into the playoffs and
happens.
get hot in October again.
Yep.
And they did it last year. They got to the NLCS. A lot of teams do that. They win a World Series. But let's reset expectations for your San Diego Padres.
Today's the day, right?
Yeah.
Big, hard, fat reset button. Cool. Not where we thought we would be, but there's nothing you can do about it now. So, I mean, can't change the past.
All right, final hour. We've got a Ja Morant update from Paul Reindl and the Reindl Report coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods, final hour this week. Just a reminder, everyone, when you don't hear us tomorrow morning, try not to panic. I mean, we certainly want you to miss us. That's fine. But we won't be on the air tomorrow. And then we won't be here on the air Monday for Memorial Day. So we'll be back on Tuesday morning, 6 a.m.
It'll be just me and you. Paulie will be kicking it in Vegas. Paulie will be back Thursday. So it's going to be a little bit different, as it's a little bit different right now with these two heathens in studio. Hey, I'm on the radio, so if you can be quiet, that'd be fantastic.
Let me throw out, since we need an over-under bet.
This is a nightmare. Yeah,
an over-under bet for the weekend. Padres, over-under.
Oh, my God.
Over.
He can't curse on the air. Oh, my God. Oh, that's a bad word.
I know you picked yesterday, but I'm going to set the over under, and Woods is going to take care of the children. Do you want to just take off just an hour early here? This is torturing me just watching you have to deal with this. I
like to embrace the chaos.
While I wait for Woods to deal with this, I will throw out a congratulations to J.D. Wicker, athletic director at San Diego State.
Yes.
Who yesterday was named the athletic director of the year in college sports by the Sports Business Journal at an awards ceremony in New York that he attended and gave an acceptance speech. Was the first ever non-Power 5 conference athletic director to win that award. Obviously, credit for getting Snapdragon Stadium open, having a basketball team that went to the championship game at the Final Four, and some other good things that have been happening in and around the San Diego State athletic program, being noticed by people around the country. The Aztecs have set themselves up for potential invitation to a Power 5 conference coming up. Everything coming up. J.D. Wicker this year, and he was honored as such last night by the Sports Business Journal at a big awards ceremony in New York City.
Wow. Nice to win awards, I bet.
All right, quickly, over under bet. I'll let you make another pick here this weekend. I'm kind of hot.
You're plus 30.
I'm plus 30. Here is the over under bet. I'm going to try to give you one you can win easily.
Gambler in the world, if that tells you how bad at gambling I am.
There are going to be 4 games between now. No, 5 games, right? Between now and when we come back. Padres play on Monday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're off Monday.
Oh,
they're off Monday. So 4 games. All right. 1.5 wins for the Padres. That's all. 1.5 wins for the San Diego Padres between now and Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. when we return. Now, I will warn you, like if they get rained out, that counts. It's not a win. You have to get 2 wins out of possibly 4 games
Is there rain
to win that one.
I'm slamming.
I don't know what the forecast is for New York City.
No, it's supposed to be nice. Really nice.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Hannah's going to be there.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yeah.
So you're not worried about a rain out.
You should have
all 4 games played. They have to win just 2 of them. 500.
Oh, just 2.
Yeah.
Who's on the bumps? Snell today.
There's a Musgrove day, I think a Waka day, and then Darvish on Sunday.
You gotta win 3 out of 4.
I hate to be a dick. I'm taking the under 1.5.
Under 1.5 wins in the next 4 games.
I mean, I've been gambling so poorly lately.
You'll be happy to lose that one at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy to lose that one if that's how it pans out this weekend.
My son dropped a GD on the air.
Yeah.
Did you dump it?
I did.
You did?
It was off the mic, so I don't know.
Do you think that's the first time that
audible
a 5-year-old has ever had to be dumped?
There's
off
the engineers.
radio
Yeah.
stream.
Bill is out here to drop the hammer on
Taylor GD. I'm like, oh my God. Nice parenting, Dad.
Wonder where he gets it.
I know, no kidding. Definitely his mom. That is unreal. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry.
At next year's Dad of the Year awards, you don't think you're going to be honored like J.D. Wicker was, big trophy?
I mean, if I buy a table, I could
Yeah.
probably get one. You know, that's how it works, but it's cool.
All right, let's get to some headlines, Paulie.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul. All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Once again, we are asking, how can we bless the mood?
I really don't know at this point.
Just bring the boys back in. That'll bless the mood.
I think going away for 4 days is the best thing that can happen, because if we're as unlucky as we feel like, we'll have a lot of wins that we won't get to talk about while we're
6
gone.
days.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. My boy Mazzone yesterday goes, I'm glad that's night out garnered us 1 win so far. It's the Nationals, man. And the Nationals and the Royals, those are the ones.
Now, if they win today,
they win the series.
You're not going to complain about winning a series.
No,
you win 2 out of every
won a
3.
series in
You win
weeks.
2 out of every 3 games. You're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
It's hard to see the forest through the trees, though.
Yeah, they're going to lose some games the rest of the season. We can't panic every single time the Padres lose. Yet it does feel that way when you lose to the Nationals. But they were never going to win every single game on the road trip. They were never going to win every single, sweep every series the rest of the way. That's not how baseball works. So we have to accept some losses.
Oh,
what happens today then determines how we should feel about this series against the Nationals. Paulie?
You gotta win this game today.
You kind of do.
You just gotta win this game.
You kind of do. You kind of do.
All right.
It's a AAA lineup. AAA. Dom Smith, some guy named Cole I've never heard of.
Every single average in their lineup
Candelario.
is better than
I
the
know.
average of every player in the Padres lineup.
It's unreal, man. Unreal.
I hate it. Maybe we'll watch some hockey tonight.
Yeah,
Got
hockey.
The Stanley Cup playoffs continuing. So yesterday, the Panthers beat the Hurricanes 4-3. They swept the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's over.
That is over.
I saw someone point out that might have been the closest sweep in playoff history in any sport. Because, you win 4 games, you think, oh, you absolutely dominated. No.
Let's go
3 of
back.
the games.
Game 1.
Yeah.
In quadruple overtime.
4 overtimes.
OTs. You watched some of that one, Benny.
Yep.
Game 2, Panthers won 2-1 in overtime. Game 3, Panthers won 1-0.
Yep.
In regulation. And yesterday, they got the sweep 4-3 in regulation.
On a goal with 4.9 seconds left in regulation. It was
10 goals for the Panthers. 1, 2, 3.
We don't care
6.
about the Carolina Hurricanes, but if you are a Carolina Hurricanes fan, like our friend Jordan in North Carolina, that was a torturous series.
Yeah.
Every single game, you were like a hit with runners in scoring position away from winning. One bounce of the puck goes your way.
Brutal.
The Hurricanes could easily be walking away with a sweep of their own.
Yeah.
We can
of that
relate.
series.
We can relate.
That's how close it was, and they lost every single game.
If you want to watch some hockey tonight, 5
By the way,
o'clock.
Matthew Tkachuk had 3 of the 4 game winners
Not bad.
in that series
Good
as
night
well.
in the NHL.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Tonight in the Western Conference Finals, the Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars.
They're about to
in
sweep too, aren't
Dallas,
they?
and Vegas
Here in
leads
Dallas.
that series 3-0.
Yeah.
So they are going for the sweep 5 o'clock tonight on ESPN.
I know Canadian. So I don't think there hasn't been a Canadian Stanley Cup winning team since Edmonton. I mean, it's been like decades. And you've got to be looking at Canada. This is our national sport, and you're going to have Florida against Vegas.
Somebody in
the Stanley Cup Finals.
Somebody in our chat, remember last year, Astros Guardians in MLB playoffs? It was a sweep, but it was so close. His name is Satan's Blowfish, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, remember that one. That was, those are good series. Those are really, really good series. And of course, you're like, but we just got swept, but God bless it. It's excruciating because you're so close every time.
In the NBA, yet another update on John Morant, who's just made several appearances on Don't Do This and other parts throughout our show over the last few weeks and months. Yesterday, police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on him after he posted some bizarre or cryptic messages on his Instagram
saw
account.
that, man.
So early Wednesday, or possibly even late Tuesday, like overnight, Morant posted and then deleted some messages and pictures on his Instagram account. Said like, "Love you, Ma," with a blue heart.
No.
"Love you, Pops," with a blue heart. "You the greatest, baby girl. Love you," with a blue heart. He then followed all of that and just said, "Bye."
Bye. Little cry for help.
Maybe that's at least what the police
That's what
were
they
thinking.
thought. Somebody tipped them off and said, "Hey, man, go check this guy out."
But in actuality, he was just pulling a Woods.
What does that mean?
Correct.
What is
Little
a
bit.
Woods?
Yeah, so police were alerted and they went to his home
What does
yesterday
pulling
morning.
a Woods mean?
They checked on him and he's fine. He said he is just taking a break from social media.
Oh,
That's what pulling a Woods is.
But it was.
He was saying goodbye to Twitter, not to existence.
But I didn't say. I didn't do that.
No, but
Hey, I
you
love
did.
you guys.
You disappeared from
Yeah.
social media.
Well, but I told you guys I was nuking.
You did.
Yeah,
He
I
just
announced
didn't.
it.
He didn't say it directly.
You
So when
used
he,
one of your platforms
Yeah.
to explain why you were leaving another platform.
Right. And Ja
he
didn't.
technically kind of did, but he also could have just written some text on an Instagram
Did he show
story.
up to the door like in like gym shorts, no shirt, holding a Pop-Tart, and he's like, "What did I do now?" And they're like, "Bro, are you good?" He's like, "I'm having breakfast."
Bro, I'm playing Fortnite.
Yeah,
I
I'm playing
swear
Fortnite.
I did not post any more videos
I
of
didn't
myself
know.
with a gun.
There's no guns here. I did nothing. He's like, what? They wake him up. He's like, "What? What's going on?" He's just in his gym shorts, like in his socks. Like, "John, are you okay?" He's like, "I'm good."
Heck, if they sent the police out every time people tweeted out things
something-
that sounded like they were depressed, entire Padres Twitter would be visited constantly
doubt.
by the police.
There's no question.
No, but tip of the cap to the police for at least just checking on him.
No doubt,
Because
no
that
doubt.
it was weird to see that.
You forget again, like he's such a young kid. So he's what, 24? 27, 24? He's 24, isn't he?
He is 23.
23 years old, man. I mean, I'm very sympathetic to young people making stupid mistakes, as I was one of them for many, many years.
You're 48 and you
I'm
can't deal with
48.
social media.
Yeah, 100%.
You're more than double the age of John
that's
Morant.
Unfair to say.
All right.
I choose not to anymore. Well, you're right. I can't.
Finally, gentlemen, something went viral on TikTok and just spurred a ton of people to weigh in on the subject. A woman given a master class in pettiness.
Love this.
Woman in the UK has gone viral. She caught her boyfriend cheating.
Okay.
She's, it happens, not a good thing. It doesn't feel good. And she got back at him, not by cheating. She didn't physically assault the guy.
Did she go carry Underwood and slash his tires? And
You're close, but not quite.
No.
She hid smelly food in his apartment. And there is a video where she opens up the curtain rods above his windows and stuffs a bunch of shrimp in there.
In the rods.
She said his place smelled for months and he had no idea. You're not checking the curtain rods.
You've just inspired me to hide things in curtain rods, Paul.
So this woman,
I don't know what I would have to hide. Like, I've never had a lot of cash. People like stuff cash in. I don't. What am I, $74 in a curtain
Old
rod
Walter
somewhere?
White over here, just shoving thousands of dollars in your mattress or something. Yeah. So her video went viral and it inspired a ton of other people in the comments and other videos to share some of their revenge stories. And along the same lines, just some of the highlights from this. Somebody removed the back panel from their ex's television and stuffed crab meat in it, like screwed off the back panel of the television, which turn the TV on, it's going to get hot. Disgusting. A woman brushed her ex-boyfriend's toilet with his toothbrush and then put it back on the bathroom counter.
My son just got a marker and wrote on my other son's brand new Nikes.
Oh.
This is really going well.
there goes the resale value on eBay.
Come here, bud.
I think the best revenge is just living well. You don't need to stuff crab meat in someone's television.
Somebody filled a spray bottle with milk and then sprayed the
everywhere
milk
just to get
just
that sour
ever so
smell.
lightly
Yeah. You don't see
all
it.
over his carpet.
Just a nice sour milk smell all over the place. I hate bad smells.
I do too. The worst smell I've ever smelled in my entire life, number one, bar none. Protein shake. Drank it in the car, and I think it was one of the homemade, like you shake it with water. Drank it in the shaker, left it in my car, and it rolled under the seat. And I was like, man, I smell the faint smell of something horrendous. And I popped the top on it, and I almost threw up. It was by far the raunchy, and I have 2 small kids, the raunchiest smell you have ever smelled in your entire
We had
life.
a critter of some sort crawl into an air duct and die once, and you could smell in the house like the smell of rotting death.
I
and-
pranked somebody in high school. I
no.
went to the market, the fish market, and got like an actual fish, head
Giant
and everything,
fish.
like giant dead fish.
Did you go to that one in
Duct
Seattle
taped
where
it,
they throw the
and went to
fish
the
at
Pike
you?
Place
Oh,
Market.
This is awesome.
Went down, got a
Fish
fish.
thrower.
There was a salmon, I think. I don't know. Got a fish, duct taped it underneath somebody's car.
Oh, that's a good bit.
Hot exhaust and
fish.
everything.
Yeah.
Smoked salmon.
Yeah, that's delicious. All right.
Automobile smoked salmon.
Go to break so I can go out and scream at
All
my
right,
kids.
go. Adam's here. He's the babysitter.
Hey
has arrived.
guys, can you make me a graphic for this?
The
Hey,
babysitter.
Bo, I got an
has
idea for
arrived.
a viral video.
Blake Snell is in a big spot today, not coming off his best start of the year. Can Blake get things turned around? We'll look ahead to today's series finale rubber game matchup against the Washington Nationals. Do that coming up with more Ben and Woods after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Did a nice thing for us at Channel 10 yesterday. A little Memorial Day barbecue, grilling up some hot dogs for employees, but they weren't beef and bacon hot dogs.
Could have been better.
Yeah, I think they could have been a little bit better. Paulie is going to be out somewhere today with Slater's 50-50 beef and bacon hot dogs. Ralph's in Encinitas.
Yeah, a little Odyssey takeover at Ralph's off El Camino Real in Encinitas. I'll be there from 1 to 3 today representing the crew. It's the launch of Slater's 50-50 beef and bacon hot dogs. So pick some up for the weekend. You also have a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Padres take on the Pirates later this summer. I think that's in July is when Pittsburgh comes to town. And then, our buddy John from KSON will be there after I think he's like 3 to 5 p.m. But yeah, come hang out, come say hi. And would love to see you guys.
Same shopping center where I took my dog yesterday to get her stitches out at the vet.
How's she doing?
She's doing okay. Still have a little antibiotic cream just on a little area under there that I still have to apply twice per day just to make sure it heals properly.
Oh, no.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
Being a pet owner or a parent, as we've seen this morning.
Oh my God, you guys have seen me at my in the blender.
You call me almost every day right around this time, and you're in the blender, and you can hear children in the background, but it's another thing to see it in person.
See, watching it live is really something. And they are
not
really,
just me, but a couple hundred of our friends on YouTube
watching live and saying, "Oh my Lord." Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot, but labor of love, Paulie, is what they call it.
So it's a bump day for Blake Snell today. And you look at his overall numbers, they look pretty ugly. 1-6 with a 5.4 ERA. He's got to be better than that. But I looked into the numbers behind the numbers. And while this is true of every pitcher pitches almost invariably, pitches better when they're ahead in the count versus behind in the count.
Sure.
The numbers with Blake Snell are shocking.
Staggering, right?
Absolutely staggering. If he throws strike one, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. When he is ahead in the count, at an 0-1 count, he gives up a 400 OPS. At an 0-2 count, he gives up with 2 strikes, 333, 250 OPS, and a 1-2 count. When he is ahead in the count, it's over. When he gets behind in the count on a 1-0 count, OPS 1636. When he's behind 2-0,
crap,
2000. When he's behind 2-1, 1917. When he's behind 3-1, 1750. And on a 3-0 count, just happened a couple of times, 4,857 OPS. It's shocking
the 1-0 number
how much strike one determines whether or not Blake Snell is going to get the job done or not.
And I know it's not the highest of the bunch, but the 1-0 OPS of 1,600.
Yep. 636 average, 1,000 slugging percentage. That's
staggering.
It's a limited sample size even at this point in the year. But
I mean, 1-0s are
because that's only times where the guy swings and puts the ball in play.
Right.
Because otherwise, 1-0 you swing, that doesn't go on to there. That just becomes a 1-1 count then. But
foul
of the guys who have put the ball into play, they're dominating when they're ahead in the count against Blake Snell.
Holy crap!
And when he's ahead in the count, he is dominating.
That's been the knock.
It's true of everyone, but in Blake Snell's in particular, so important that he gets ahead in the count.
And the other thing for Blake, so important that he gets run support, and that is not something that really any of our pitchers are getting at all. And he had a really decent streak, man, of 3 games, 6 innings each time, right around 100 pitches. And obviously, we got to stop begging Blake Snell to be to economize. He's not an economical pitcher.
By the way,
because of the book, as you just said, what's the book?
Wait him out. Yeah. By the way, he's only given up 3 hits on the first pitch all season long.
Yeah.
3.
It's almost like just groove one in there.
So yes, exactly. Until teams adjust and do something else, Blake should basically just be throwing a fastball down the middle every single time.
Yeah.
And then he becomes one of the best pitchers in baseball when he's ahead of the count.
Staggering. He had that streak, 6 innings, about 100 pitches. He's not an economical pitcher. Let's stop begging him to be. You can wish it all you want. It's not going to happen. He has economical innings. The thing with Blake, and I think this is true for a lot of big league pitchers too, it's the snowball. If you boot one behind him, you're screwed. If he walks somebody, you're screwed. If he walks 2 guys, you're dead. The game feels over at that point. It's what happened in his last start against the Red Sox. I mean, he walked 2 guys. And you're like, all right, that's church for us. Might as well do something else. Blake has some of the nastiest stuff in baseball. We've said it like a mantra. He's just has to figure out how to get out of his own head, nameless, faceless opponent, stare at the glove, and I know it's so much easier said than done.
But that great stuff means nothing if he's behind in the count.
Right.
Because they see they see a spinner coming and they're ahead in the count 1-2. No, they're not going to swing at that.
They wait for the
and
heater.
It probably is going to break below the zone because they usually do because he's got such nasty stuff.
He does not throw those secondary and third pitch. He does not throw them. You know, you'll watch a guy. You'll watch Michael Walker, right? And Michael Walker will pitch backwards. Sometimes he'll go 2-0 and he'll just snap a curveball in there, and Nola doesn't move his glove. Oh God, he's pitching backwards on me. Strike 1. Blake Snell 2-0, and he decides to pitch backwards, and he throws a slider. It bounces in the dirt. Now you're 3-0.
Right.
He doesn't have that.
It only works when they're protecting
1 and
against
2,
the fastball.
0-2, yep.
And they have to swing, and then they go right over the top, and he gets his strikeouts, which he gets.
And it doesn't mean, he always gets his Ks. It doesn't mean he's not nasty. He's absolutely nasty. If Ruben Niebla could figure out how to harness that, or even just say, Blake, throw that slider almost like give up on it halfway. You don't have to throw it like a fastball, because there are guys, and I love this pitching talk. Greg Maddux talking about Tony Gwynn. I couldn't get him out with anything, so I started throwing my changeup as hard as I do a fastball, and my slider. I started throwing my slider like a fastball, mixing up speeds. Blake has 2 speeds. Well, he has 1 speed. Everything's hard. Everything's just hard. Some of it spins, some of it doesn't. But man, if he could just almost kind of half-ass the slider for a strike.
If he could get a get me over slider early in the count, imagine what a weapon that would be for Blake Snell, because no one's going to swing at it.
No.
They see the spin.
They're like, nope.
No chance. If he could get that over, get ahead in the count. I just told you the numbers when Blake Snell is ahead in the count, how insanely good they are.
It's so hard.
It feels like what you need from Blake Snell right now.
That's exactly right, Benny. So big start for him. Would be so nice to end, to win this series, and especially after yesterday's game of just paltry, anemic offense. Again, bad defense. So
don't know much about the guy he's facing. Jake Irvin, a right-hander who wears number 74 for the Nationals, is pretty anonymous. 1-2, 5.5 ERA. Sounds like a body that they're throwing at the Padres today. It's the kind of game when you have a former Cy Young Award winner and a team like the Nationals is throwing a warm body out there. These are the kind of games you want to win 8-1.
Oh, knock on.
It just doesn't. It hasn't been happening for the Padres this season.
I mean, no small tasks this weekend against the Yankees. I think they will get Cole on Sunday. Is that right?
Darvish Cole.
Is it Darvish Cole? All right. Well, I mean, look, the Cole is really good. I think some of the other guys in the rotation are beatable, but anybody can get.
According to ESPN, it's Musgrove, Severino.
Okay,
then
he's fresh off an injury.
Waka undecided, and then Darvish Cole.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can win 2 of those games, but you got to win 1 game. You got to win today.
Early games on Saturday and Sunday as well. 10:05 a.m., 10:35 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
Excellent.
Hannah has rejoined the chat.
Oh, from the plane.
She says, "I'm living the dream in first class right now. Hope you're having a good show with our little angels."
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So fun.
I've had a good time.
I've had a good time.
We got to get Woods to the finish line.
Who is having a worse time, me or Ben? I think Ben.
I'm okay.
Are you?
Yeah. I feel bad for you.
Oh, don't feel bad for me. I love this. I wanted
Adam's
this.
watching the kids right now.
He is. God knows.
Adam's having the worst
babysitter.
time.
Adam.
He just left his house with 3 kids.
How much
to
does
work
he
and
charge
take
you
care
per
of 2
hour? Is it
kids.
like $9 an hour for babysitting?
Is he docking your pay for today?
Probably.
You have to give him a ride back home when he's done.
Now, Bo dropped a GD on the air. Paulie dumped it, but Adam was mad at me that I used the D word. So I apologize. But I didn't say I called myself that. He doesn't like that word. So I apologize. Is what it is. A jerk, I should have said. Isn't that funny? You can say jerk and that's fine, but you can't say every Tom, Dick, and Harry, right? That's no problem there.
We're gonna
on thin ice.
That's what I do.
Our last segment of the week is next. We're gonna bring back our favorite moment of the week.
Oh man,
it was pretty
so much fun.
Obvious what it was. That's coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I did.
travel case, cooking utensils.
I have so many questions about it. He essentially, Mookie says when he goes on a road trip, he opened his suitcase and he showed everybody. There's pans and spatulas and jellies and jams and spices and
like a gas cooker.
So what he'll do is he'll get to the hotel and he will order groceries, like an Instacart situation. He'll find a Vons and they'll deliver him eggs. And I was blown away. And I don't know, did he give a reason for why he does it? Does he not want to eat? Does he want to be able to control what
I think he
eats?
wants, he's an athlete, wants to control
That's
everything
good.
about what he's eating.
Is there a cheap aspect to it, or that's actually you're saving some money? You're saving some money.
Yeah, I would
doing
think
that.
so. Yeah, I mean, eating out is always expensive, especially hotels. I mean, room service is expensive as it gets.
Exorbitant.
He likes to be able to just make himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, so
when
that's
he's
not
on the road.
super healthy, though.
No, but for an athlete,
An elite athlete.
especially when you're expending a lot of calories and exercising constantly,
man.
that's not the worst thing to have.
No, for sure. But I also wondered, is there a part of him that's like, I don't want somebody from Philly or San Diego to put,
like a safety
short and curlies in my omelet this morning. I'd prefer not to eat this guy's loogie. If I had my druthers, I'd rather not eat somebody's loogie that knows, oh, that's Mookie Betts in room 296. Here, watch this. Plucks a booger out and puts it in his omelet. Right? I mean, that's you'll
be closer to the LA area today.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be careful about anywhere you eat.
And anywhere I go.
I guess what
this
just
is going out to
staggers
Stephen
me
Woods'
is-
table.
I mean, they don't know me at Wendy's, Paulie.
I mean, my favorite thing about traveling is, trying different restaurants,
Sure.
eating out in different cities. And he pretty much denies himself, a guy who travels constantly for work, denies himself what I think is the best thing about going somewhere else.
It would get old, though, I would imagine, after many, he's been in the league forever. So at a certain point, you're like, I want to stay in my hotel room. And I'm just going to cook myself a nice set of scrambled eggs and some toast, it is the packing of all of it and the cleaning of it. That would be the beating
That
for me.
seems like a beating, especially when nowadays you can DoorDash from any
is he
restaurant
vegan?
in a town.
Somebody said he potentially is vegan.
Okay, but you can DoorDash from a restaurant in town.
Yeah, again, though.
To a hotel room.
Mookie Betts.
Do you know that it's Mookie Betts, though?
Sure.
How would you know?
In DoorDash?
I guess.
Yeah, it's got your name, credit card.
You could certainly put it under a pseudonym, though.
Mason Saunders, maybe.
Exactly.
Right.
By the time it's delivered, no one's done anything to it.
What would your pseudonym be?
My pseudonym?
Yeah, if you were so famous.
Well, I had to
Ben
do. Remember?
Hoggins.
I did
Ben
it once.
Hoggins.
That's too obvious.
Yeah, it is.
It's Dan Stevens. Remember?
I forgot about Dan Stevens. What was Dan Stevens again?
I had to do these news reports at an old radio station, but we weren't allowed to use our real name. So they said,
Oh my God.
you have to use a made up name. What's your made up name? And I just kind of panicked and I went,
Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens.
You couldn't get more newsier than it's me, Dan Stevens.
What really happened?
What really happened last night? So I did one of my first jobs I ever had in high school. We all got jobs at this telemarketing place. And they paid a fortune. Like for high schoolers at the time, we're talking 1992, 93. It was like $15 an hour, which was more money than we knew what to do with. But we worked for the Police Activities League, PAL,
Yeah.
PAL. And it was our job to, call and try to sell. Well, I don't even remember how it worked, but it's like stickers. Hey, you need to get the new PAL sticker for your car, and
It's like a donation sponsorship kind of thing. Yeah.
The name that I used was because you tried to sound like you don't want to sound like a 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So the name I used was Jack Anderson. Jack. And I would affect this real Southern, like you'd answer the phone. Hell, it was just old people. Hello, like. Man, this is Jack Anderson. How are you? I'm with the Police Activities League. And you it kind of
got some good Ted Lasso
some
vibes
Ted
going
Lasso
on
in
there.
it. Yeah, way before Ted Lasso. And you sell these people, and we had 4-hour shifts, and you make $60 in a 4-hour shift. You do that 3 days a week. That's a lot of dough for a junior and senior in high school. So yeah, Jack Anderson was mine. Dan Stevens.
Paulie, do you have a pseudonym?
Do you have a pseudonym, Paulie?
in mind?
I don't.
No. Okay.
I never really thought about it.
All right. We've never really had to. You know, we don't need to check in at hotels under a different name.
So last segment of the week, as I promised, we're going to go back and play what was our favorite moment. Comes from Tuesday. Both had us absolutely laughing.
You spit.
Well, I may have, yeah.
You did.
We'll get to that right after our last check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the premier Kia of Carlsbad Traffic Center, part of the premier auto family, here's Kelly Tannick.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. Got a few problems wrapping up our morning drive. Car fire on the Cesar Chavez Parkway off-ramp northbound 5. Looks like they just put that fire out, so watch out for a little activity there. In the North County, a couple of issues. Southbound side of the 5 before Cassidy Street, collision over the right shoulder, and traveling on the northbound 15 before Deer Springs Road. A collision involving several vehicles there over the right shoulder. The Big O Tires Clear Ride, West 52, heading out of Santee. You're good to go. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department is working hard to keep San Diego safe, is now hiring. The Sheriff's Department offers rewarding careers with growth and has an opportunity for anyone with integrity that wants to make a difference. Go to joinsdsheriff.net to learn more. That's joinsdsheriff.net. I'm Kelly Danik with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, we both do quite a bit of preparation for our shows, but as usual, some of the best stuff comes completely off the cuff, and we're going to rewind it back to Tuesday's Reindl Report, going into the final story, just the moment that had us both rolling here on Ben & Woods.
Finally, a man was shot over the weekend in Louisville, and police report that it was because of a Hot Pocket.
They are tasty.
They're
fine.
They're fine.
I mean, it depends on how
you don't
eat
eat
Hot
Pockets.
I don't. But if you put them in the air fryer instead of the microwave sleeve, the microwave sleeve never gets them crispy enough.
I like how they call that sleeve, by the way, a crisping sleeve.
Yeah.
That thing doesn't crisp anything. Nothing. Oh, you mean the soggy, boiling hot, half frozen sleeve? Crisping sleeve, my ass. It's never crisped anything. Is it possible to crisp something in a microwave ever? No. Something that was frozen. Can you crisp something in a microwave? No. What are we, idiots? And we're like, just slide it in the old
someone
crisping
hasn't
sleeve.
Sued them about that at some point.
Nothing, you cannot crisp anything.
Crisping sleeve.
Crisp these, man. You can't crisp anything.
A 64-year-old man named...
Oh, it's cool. It's got the silver inside.
Yeah, that's going to really help.
I got it.
You know it can't be metallic, though.
Yeah, it can't be metallic.
The microwave
will explode. It's amazing.
So it's really just cardboard.
It's cardboard, silver cardboard. Yeah. Yeah, if we paint it silver, these morons will think that it crisps their Hot Pocket. I hate it so much.
Here's the thing. If you're eating Hot Pockets, you're probably hammered drunk.
How about this? How about the Stouffer's French bread pizza that you flip on the silver trellis or whatever it is, like, and you lay it up there? Oh, that's different from putting it on a paper plate. Stupid. So stupid. And here we all both bought in. Oh, I'm in.
Decades.
I'm all
We've
decades.
all bought into the crispy
sleeve. It's a myth, and you're all suckers, all of us.
Just a bunch of idiots.
Where is the R&D? I want to see the research.
I want to see it. Show me one that you crisped. Show me one that you crisped for once. It's impossible. It just doesn't exist. Crispy sleeve.
Old 64-year-old Clifton was arrested on Sunday after police said he shot his roommate following an argument in their neighborhood.
Oh my God, dude.
Police said that his roommate had eaten the last Hot Pocket, so he started throwing tiles at him. And then the arrest warrant says that the roommate tried to leave and run away, and Williams went back inside and got a gun.
Shot him.
And shot him in the ass. No, he was treated at a nearby hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, but the man was so pissed that he ate the Hot Pocket and got a gun and shot him in the ass.
Brilliant.
Saw a picture of the man that committed.
I can see him in my mind's eye. I used to sell him
exactly.
I used to sell police activities league stickers, Paulie. To be honest with you, I promise.
It's exactly whatever you think it is. That's what it is.
Oh, that was great. That was great. I loved it.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by SC Johnson Off. This is Protection. Yep. Protection, the everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Prevention is the best protection. Off. The number one dermatologist recommended
What
repellent.
is a dermatologist?
Dermatologist recommended repellent.
Yes.
SC
It's been a minute.
Johnson.
It has been a dermatologist.
Gonna line up.
Oh, good. Let's hear it, Paulie. Sure, it will.
Any weird changes?
I'm sure
Bob
it
Melvin
will spark confidence.
Bob Melvin was certainly in a state last night after the game. If it was any one of us, we'd probably throw a blowtorch to the next day's lineup.
I
and
would have
do
been
something completely different.
Nelly Cruz leading off, playing third.
My guess is Bob Melvin went to the hotel, slept it off, got up in the morning and said, my best option is throwing my best lineup out there as usual, and it's going to look pretty much like it does every other day.
Guys are righty on the bump.
Or am I wrong?
Yep, righty on the bump. Blake Snell going for the Padres.
Okay.
Leading off, playing right field, Fernando Tatis Jr. Batting
right.
second, playing first base, Jake Cronenworth.
Okay.
Juan Soto batting third and left. Xander hitting cleanup, playing short. Carpenter's DH Odor batting sixth at second base. Ha-Seong Kim batting seventh, playing third. Grisham in center, and Sullivan catching Blake Snell batting ninth.
Back starts for Sully.
Pretty much the expected lineup. Ha-Seong Kim, I think, moves up a slot. He's hitting better than most right now.
You say he's at least
He actually
leading-
leads the team in WAR right now, ahead of even Juan Soto. Ha-Seong Kim, who gets more criticism, I think, from Padres fans than most, actually leads the team in WAR. Been the most productive player when you combine both his offense and defense together. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
That home run he hit yesterday was not the kind. I mean, he hits a few home runs, but
Oppo
usually
shot,
it's when
man.
he really gets his hips into it and pulls it to left.
Yeah.
He crushed that one
Crushed
to
it.
center field, a little right of center field. Not something you expect from Ha-Seong Kim. Brett Sullivan, he had a base hit yesterday.
Yep.
It's enough to get him in the lineup again. He's been catching Blake Snell on the reg.
He has
the last few starts as well. I was surprised that he started yesterday because I thought, well, maybe he's not going to catch Blake Snell, but give him 2 straight starts against righties. Get him out there. Not that I've been that impressed with Brett Sullivan behind the plate.
He
but
boxes. You know, when we
he's
talked
got
about
too many.
sloppy earlier, there's a lot of he boxes a lot of strike. You know, strike three. A lot of times the ump won't give it to you, but he did yesterday. 96 boxes it, picks it up, has to throw the runner out. Now, just crisp baseball. There's so much talent on that roster. It's such a good day. It's such a good day to make things right. man.
Here's what concerns me. So I look at the lineup: Tatis, Cronenworth, Soto. All right, I have confidence. I know no one got a hit yesterday, but they're going to get on base. They're probably going to get a hit or two, maybe even a home run from one of those 3 guys in this game. Then it's Bogarts, Carpenter. No faith that either of those guys is going to do anything today. Bogarts struggling badly, struck out 4 times yesterday. Got another right-hander today, and Carpenter has looked kind of lost the last few games
Hit
as well.
that bomb, but that's really it.
All right, then Odor and Kim. All right,
Maybe our best 2.
You know, they're kind of
maybe they should
together.
be 1 and 2.
You know, they've been hitting, so that's all right. But then Grisham and Sullivan, it's like, all right, now you're back to 2 guys that you really are expecting an 0 for 8, maybe 1 for 9 at
It
best
just the
today.
pressure just mounts.
So you got 2 back-to-backs
What do
in
you
your
do
lineup
different?
of guys who are struggling. Well, when you have more than 3 or 4 guys struggling,
How about
there's
when you
no
have
way to
8 guys struggling? It's very, very hard to construct a lineup with 8 guys in the blender. You know, at all times, pretty much with this team.
There's no, you can criticize Bob Melvin all you want. There's no way to put together the lineup.
What's the winning combo of,
right now?
8 guys that are scuffling? So, you know, I mean, it again on paper it sets up nicely for a Padres win. I do feel like we're going to win today. Blake Snell needs to dominate the Nationals. Dominate. No effing around, man.
First pitch, right?
Just bam, pound the zone, and let's see what happens, man. Let these guys let Dom Smith take his swings. Let some of Heimer Candelario, let them hack, bro. If they get a hit, they get a hit.
If you give up 2 solo home runs on 0-0 pitches because you're trying to get ahead,
so what?
I still think you're better off than battling deep into counts
And walking,
falling behind.
walking 7 guys.
Get ahead, throw that fastball.
Let him hit it.
Challenge him to hit it.
Let him hit it.
You know, and adjust later. But for now, just challenge him. right down the middle on the first pitch. Get ahead.
I love you guys. We'll be back on Tuesday, Ben and I. Paulie, have a great time in Las Vegas. You deserve it. You've earned it. Don't answer your phone. We don't need anything. Like, we got everything from here. Really shut it down. Get it back to neutral, because something tells me the next few months are going to be a bit of a grind.
Woods, you took the under 1.5 wins over the next 4 days. I hope we're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm
Both
happy to
for
pay that $10.
My wallet and the Padres fans' sake. That'll do it for us. Thanks for bringing your children in this morning, Woods. Everybody
fun.
have a great weekend this time. Be safe. We'll talk to you Tuesday morning. For Paul Reindl, Stephen Woods.
See you, boys.
I'm Ben Higgins. Yeah, see you, everybody, on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.